Hello, boys. I went blurry. Hello, boys and girls. Oh, I haven't put my powder on. Can't you tell? Oh, I'm powderless. This will never do. How are we all doing? Are we all good? Have we had a lovely weekend? How many chicken dinners have we all had since last we met? Is probably how we should be opening this. If you don't know what I'm referencing, why are you here? Why aren't you watching the video that came out? The video, I mean, spoilers, boys and girls. I do, as much as I appreciate you watching the streams, the videos are much better than the streams. So, for goodness sake, make sure you're up to date with the videos before turning up in a stream. But hello, everybody. How are we doing? Are we good? Apple Tango tonight. Cheers. What a time to be alive. Posh won 5-0 yesterday. Who'd have thought? All we needed all along was a bald manager. I am genuinely, based on how this save is going, tempted to shave my head because it seems to be the key to getting a tune out of these players. So it is something I am currently actively considering. We'll see, I guess. Did you guys know Kev is a 7-time Streamer Showdown champion? I mean, I am. I knew that for sure. Currently playing against Posh in my Plymouth save right now as the stream opened. Up the Posh. Yeah, just get a bald cap. No, I'm just gonna shave my head. I want to fit in better in the FM community. I feel like I'm starting to become an outsider. Not just because of my views on the game, but because of my hairline. And I think we need to maybe it's time to give up. Head and beard or just head. I mean, I don't want to look like a buffoon. What kind of it's 2025. What kind of weirdo doesn't have a beard? That seems weird to not have a beard. We, as a millennial, as an elder millennial, I am glad that it's my generation that decided two things. One, we wouldn't be ironing anymore, and two, we would all have beards because they both save so much time in faffing about. I cannot believe that the generation older than me used to shave their face every day. What were they? What an incredible waste of time. Goodness me. Johnny Owl, thank you very much for the 7 months. Have I had a hair implant? I've not had a hair implant. I used to have a rock solid hairline. Best hairline in FM. I've got grey in my beard, but a rock solid hairline to the point where when I go and get my hair cut, they edge up the bit here. It is, as a 43-year-old man, it's the most terrifying thing that can happen when they get the shaver thing out and just they're in there. The bit that everyone else pays to go to Turkey to have put back in there. Then, oh no, there's a bit. If anything, Kev, you've got a bit too much hair in there. Let's deal with that for you. It's beautiful. I'm a young Gen X and agree. Beard is the way to go. Exactly. If you're going to answer my question, Kev, can you wait 5 minutes till after the adverts? Afraid not. Answered it now. Boom. Done. Right. Shall we do an intro? I think we shall. I just need to familiarise myself with what's going on with the save before we do that. Where is it? August. Oh, so we've still got a little bit of transfer window left and a little bit of money. And we might need both because we've not started great. This is the year we're supposed to get promoted. And I have to scroll to find us. That's not good, is it? We're sorting ourselves out tonight. Okay. I can manage that. Well, season 2 hasn't quite started the way I hoped it would start. After spending quite a lot of money on salaries, at least. We haven't gone and done big transfers, but maybe we need to because we've not started the season very well. We do need to get promoted this year. So I've got a week of transfer window left and £2 million to spend. I might go and do something silly. Or I might not. We shall see. We've got all this. What is all this? We've got Ronnie Edwards money. That's nice. He needs a haircut. Goodness me. That's 2 of us who could do with shaving our heads. Right. Yeah, all that's jolly good. What do we actually need? Better footballers than the ones we have. There's no obvious glaring weakness in the squad. I just don't know that this system is necessarily working. But this is our new system. But maybe, controversial as it may seem, maybe we shouldn't be ticky-tackering in League One. Maybe that's where we're going wrong. Maybe we should just go back to a good old-fashioned wing play. And I don't necessarily want to change out of the 4-3-3 shape. I think that works quite well. But I don't think we're good enough to tiki-taka. So we're going to set it up like this. And that all seems to be in order. So we're going to do that. When do we next play? Leeds in the Moose Cup in a couple of days. What have we got that we can go and buy? Let's go and spend some money. We love spending money. I agree with the ironing, but unfortunately I can't grow a beard. Anyone can grow a beard. Just stop shaving. Just don't shave for a month. You'll have a beard. People just aren't willing to commit to the beard. That's the problem. They expect it to just appear in a few days. Just don't shave at all for a month and see where you end up. You must be able to grow a beard. I don't think we have any children watching. You must be able to grow a beard. How come you haven't got any loans? Because I'm not a coward. Who's this guy available on a free transfer? Who are you, young man? Let's sign him. He's our best. He's our best scouted player, and he's available on a free. So let's bring him in. You're not having any of that nonsense, but t'other nonsense you can have. So let's try and sign him. And then who else have we got who's good? Ed Turns, does he? Not big enough. Bobby Poynton. See, these guys then start getting expensive. Matthias Maluso is already on loan somewhere, so we can't get him. And then these are a bunch of old men. Maybe just that midfield will do. Maybe that's all we need. Rab, thank you very much for 35 months. When does my new save start? When this one finishes. If we get, ideally, ideal world, we do what we do most years, run this through till Christmas, because then I have a couple of weeks off streaming over Christmas to recover from this. It's Sunday night and I'm here. So yeah, over Christmas I won't stream for a couple of weeks. We have a couple of weeks off, and then it always works quite nicely to come back first week of January and start a new save then. So I'm not in a rush to start a save. I mean, we're only in the second season of this one. So I think we've only got to do like a month of this, and then I'm away, and then it's Christmas, and then it's January and we start a new save. So a month of 2 to 3 streams a week. We'll still only be 3 or 4 seasons into this. We might just, if things go really well, we might get pushed to the Premier League before we start a new save. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? We'd all love a trip to the Premier League. Right, let's see how we get on against Leeds with a wing play system. Get Terrell Whitaker in. He owes me a goal. He, I don't know if I mentioned it in the video. I did ask where he was when I was there yesterday. Apparently, he's done his ACL in real life. So in our save, it's LOLLUJO who's done his ACL. In real life, it's Whitaker, and LOLLUJO was playing. So that most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Poor chaps. I didn't get to meet him. Any ideas for my next save? I mean, it'll probably be some kind of European journeyman thing, like we often do on Twitch. I think going to weird leagues we've not played in before is probably the way forward for a stream save. But like I say, I'm not in any rush to do it. I did a couple of polls on the YouTube community page over the last week or so, and there's not an overwhelming desire for a new save. I think a lot of people are pretty happy with this one, and the people who would like to see something new didn't agree with what they wanted. So I would say more people want this save than any other individual other save. So we'll keep going with this until we've had enough of it, which was the original plan anyway. Martin, thank you very much for 56 months. And Fleming, thank you for 74 months. I still think Fleming might be the longest subscriber that I've got. I don't think anyone has got more than 74 months. If any of my Twitch subs are over 74 months, please let me know. I don't think anyone else matches 74 months, so I think Fleming is the king of the subscribers. How did the whole thing going into the change room come about? Did the media guy come? I mean, they knew I was coming, as ever, because I'm not a turd. I sent the club a message telling them I was, well, asking if they minded me filming there. Said, along the lines of, I would like to come and do a match day vlog. Is that okay? Do you have any objections to me filming? And that's the nice little icebreaker that then leads to them offering as much or as little as they want. Once they know I'm there, I don't ask for anything. I don't put any pressure on the clubs that I go to do anything. I just let them know that I'm coming. And then some clubs do what Bedford did and what Wembley have done in the past, and what Kings Lynn have done, and Nuneaton did, and Leamington. There's a few clubs that have embraced it over the years. And some are just like, yeah, that's fine. And some just don't reply at all. And I'm like, well, I've asked and you've not said no, so I'm going to come anyway. So yeah, they offered me a little bit of extra access. I knew I was going to get some behind the scenes stuff. That's why I dragged Matt along, because what I've noticed in the past when I've had these tours backstage, everything happens very quickly and I don't have time to walk around holding my own camera. So that's why it was, the Leeds are down to 10 men, red card, thugs. So that's why Matt was there to film the back of my head during all those bits. And then they sent me a DM on Friday saying, and we've got a present for you as well. Didn't know what it was, which was the shirt, which was very nice of them. Signed shirt, which will be going up on the wall in here for behind me during the videos. But yeah, they were lovely. I like it when a club completely embraces the whole idea. It's a lot of fun. And I had a lovely, lovely day. Am I that posh fan who got a boiled egg for Wembley? I mean, it's not a boiled egg. It's many boiled eggs. But yes, I am. I love the idea that there's a person out there who that's what I'm most known for. And I love that. Did Tom Lees used to play for Leeds? Can't tell. I mean, he's 1,000 years old. He's probably played for everybody. Right. We've got tired little legs that we need to address. Swap them over. They can go like that. It certainly seems to be working better as playing a wing play system. We're doing all right against Leeds. Anyone having crashes with the in-game editor? Apparently the in-game editor is a nightmare. I haven't got it, so I don't know. But everything I hear about the in-game editor is it just doesn't work. So I would strongly recommend don't get it currently. Which is good policy. Anyway, stop cheating, you cheats. Serves you right for cheating. But yeah, apparently it's not working. I'm sure it will work at some point, but it is not currently working. Favourite posh player this season? Don't have one. They've all been pretty rubbish until yesterday. But I haven't seen yesterday. Yesterday's the first match of the season I've not seen because I was doing the Bedford thing. So yeah, I'll reserve judgment until I see us actually play well, which I still haven't seen. Did I miss a chicken talk? The chicken talk was all in the video. We don't need streamed chicken talk. I dedicated the first 5 minutes of a match day vlog to chicken. Come do a video down in Dover. I mean, if I end up managing Dover, I will. Dover's a long drive, though. Garbutt's a decent player. He needs to be with a name that could very easily turn to garbage. There's a lot of pressure on him with a name like that to actually be quite good, and he is quite good. But there's a few of them that look like they're quite good, but none of them... the question was, who's my favourite? And I don't have a favourite because they've all, as a collective, have been rubbish. So I can't afford any of them favourite status at the moment. If we end up less rubbish, then some of the better ones might graduate to becoming a favourite. But I'm very particular about my categories. You can't be a favourite. If the team's bottom of the league, there is no favourite. They're all enemies. So we'll see how things develop. That chicken looked suspect. I mean, have you ever seen chicken before? It just looked like every other piece of fried chicken anyone's ever eaten. I can't imagine what possibly looked suspect about it. It was chicken fried. It's just, that's what chicken looks like. Nothing suspect about it. A friend and I have plans doing a non-league tour in the spring. Just needs logistics going from Denmark to England. Nice. There used to be cheap flights between England and Denmark. I flew to Denmark earlier in the year for like £30 return. Between Stansted and Billund. But I know those flights don't exist anymore. How do you think about Merthyr striker Ricardo Rees? If he walked in here now, I wouldn't know who he was. I wasn't there to watch Merthyr. I didn't pay any attention to him. I wasn't really there watching a football match yesterday. I was making a video, so I'm not stood there studying what's going on in the match. I'm looking for content opportunities. It's a very different way of being involved in a football match. Last time you ate fried chicken on a matchday vlog, you ended up in the ER. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't have a gallbladder anymore, so it's much harder for food to destroy me. But yeah, fried chicken. I am a little bit afraid of fried chicken in general. You wouldn't know it from yesterday, but it was always the thing when I did have my gallstones. It was always the thing. Who the hell is this guy? It was always the thing that would tip me over the edge and bring on a gallbladder attack. So, yeah, it was nice to have some fried chicken again. But as much as they were both fine, I'd rather go to Popeyes. I don't get the... It's young people. Right, young people. I'm only talking to the young people here. What is the appeal of these ropey chicken chops that are not KFC or Popeyes or like a proper chain? I don't really understand. They just seem like your generation's kebab shops, and we wouldn't eat a kebab sober. Are they just loved because it's what you have at the end of a night out because that's what's open? Because both places I went to seemed quite confused that I was in there in the middle of the day, as if it wasn't the done thing. You get to call a guy boss man, and that seems pretty cool. I just can't imagine a scenario where I'm going to call a guy boss man. I was born in South East London. It's full of knockoff chicken shops, cheap franchises to run. Reese is the league's top scorer, 17 goals in 16 games, and we'll be looking to go into Football League club in January. Fair enough. Feels like they're more authentic and each place has its own unique way of dishing up their food. I mean, it's all just chicken and chips in a cardboard box, isn't it? I mean, the two I had yesterday were both pretty identically dished up. Just a slightly different spice mix, I guess, on the chicken. Anyone know where I could buy FM24? No, you can't anymore. The licenses were extended until FM26. Why would you want to buy FM24 now? That feels... And I see you're a first-time chatter, so I don't want to risk upsetting you. That would be a disaster. But it does feel very performative. Oh, FM26 is so bad that now, after 2 years of a game being available when I didn't buy it, now I feel the need to go back and buy it. I mean, if you'd have really wanted it, you'd already have it by now, wouldn't you? I don't think you really want it, or else you'd already have bought it. Finally got one of your streams. You mind looking up a free agent? I do mind looking up a free agent because, unfortunately, when I start doing that, that's all that people ask for the rest of the stream. So you're on Twitch, aren't you? Yeah, if you're on Twitch, you can save up your Kev points and redeem them, and I'll do it in exchange for some Kev points. But I can't just do it straight out of the chat like that, because it just descends into absolute chaos very, very quickly. So if you want to play the latest patch update of FM26, should I be on the beta track? You don't need to now. You did. There was like a 15-hour period earlier in the week where you needed to be, but it's now up to, it took less than a day for that update to be pushed out to everybody. Who are we playing? Burton. Right. Hopefully we can not be rubbish against them. I imagine there'll be another patch this week that will probably hit the beta thing a little bit earlier, but if it's going to hit the main one as quickly as it does anyway, I don't know that there's a huge benefit to being on the beta if it's going to be less than a day before it goes out to everybody. Unless you are having a desperately bad time with a particular bug, in which case you probably want it sooner, as soon as you possibly can. But like for me now, playing this on my machine, it's fine. It doesn't even feel any buggier than most other FM games. And I realise that on certain machines and to do certain things, it still is mega buggy. But for me, on my machine, to play the way I want to play, like I've still not had a crash, apart from that one time during the beta where that was terrible from the keeper and then terrible from their striker, where we had those 2 crashes in like half an hour on the patch that was only out for 3 or 4 hours. That one was broken. But other than that, I've still not had any crashes. And I've not really had... Like there were a few irritating bugs, but they're largely gone. So I'm not like desperately hanging on the edge of my seat waiting for the next patch. Oh, he's offside. Oh, I was celebrating as well. Oh, he's made me look like a Wally. Yeah, network games are apparently dross. There's a reason we're not doing one yet. I'd like to do one when they're fixed, but yeah, that's not ideal. So I know a lot of people like a network game. I mean, if you look back at when we've done network games as content, you'll see mostly they always start like March anyway, because traditionally FM's always been a bit iffy at launch for network games. That's not a uniquely FM26 thing. I know they are even more broken than usual this time. But I'm not planning on doing a network game this side of Christmas. Just wanted to let you know someone is messaging people pretending to be Block Party on TikTok. Yeah, that happens all the time. It's an issue with TikTok. There's literally nothing I can do about it. I'd like to think people can figure out it's not me. I've put stuff out telling people that I would never contact you trying to buy or sell Lego. I don't use DMs at all. So if you get a DM from me on any platform, and apart from those very rare circumstances where I'm doing a giveaway and I'll contact you to tell you you've won that way. And that'll only be from my my verified LOLLUJO Twitter. But any other platform, if you're getting DMs from me, then it's not me, because I don't even read the DMs people send me. Never mind send my own to random people I've never spoken to before. So yeah, it's an unfortunate problem with TikTok, and a reason why they should verify Block Party. LOLLUJO's verified on there, but Block Party isn't, and Block Party's the bigger account on TikTok. So really, they should crack on with verifying it, and then it wouldn't be a problem. But TikTok. Just TikTok things. Why does your game look smoother than mine? My game was fine yesterday, but now it looks choppy and less smooth. I don't know. I've got a really good computer. Maybe that. Us lonely console players have to wait until next week for the update. Yeah, but if you spoke to the PC players, they'll say the whole game was built for you and it's all your fault. It is... Obviously, I see all the sides of it because people are angry about all the different sides of it in my comments. And And yeah, it is interesting how angry the console people are at the PC people and how angry the PC people are at the console people. Football goal. Football goal. Seducer of Trolls. Thank you very much for the Prime. For some reason, I was reading that as soft rolls. As in like bread rolls, seducing soft rolls. I figured it out eventually. People need spaces in their usernames. When is the next update? I don't think anything's announced. I would expect it this week. I'd like to think they'll be doing it weekly until people are happy. Or as happy as they're going to get. Because they're not going to completely rebuild the game to make it look like FM24, which I think there's some people who won't be happy unless they do that, and they ain't doing that. But I think until it's stable and bug-free, and they've done all the quality of life stuff they're planning on doing, like adjusting the spacebar use, which is in the next update, apparently. I'd like to think they'll be doing the updates weekly. I'll let them have a week off over Christmas, although to be fair, games should be done before Christmas, shouldn't it? I missed the bell when the goalless squad. I don't really do that in single player. That's really an annoying people in multiplayer games thing. The bell's still sat on my desk. It's not that I've decided I'm not going to use the bell anymore. It's more, there's no one here to annoy. It's just going to annoy you. Or it'll annoy Anna and she'll say, stop ringing that bell. So, who the hell are you? Past Kev's made some transfers that I don't remember him making. I'm not against it, but I'm currently trying to sign 2 more midfielders. And it looks like Past Kev was already on it. And there's multiple midfielders here. Will we get FM27 before GTA 6? I mean, when's GTA 6 coming? Is it October or November? Because you know when you'll get FM27, you'll get the beta mid-October and the full game early November. So if you count the beta, then it might be before GTA 6. We'll get FM28 before GTA 6. Yeah. Maybe. And that does explain why some companies rush their games out unfinished. Because of the amount of stick that... I mean, GTA can weather the stick. Because they know they're going to bring out something outstanding. But they do get mocked for constantly delaying the game. Sometimes people just don't know what they want. Okay, do you want them to release the game unfinished? No. Do you want them to delay the game so they can finish it then? No. What do you want then? Game now. Good. Well, it's not ready now. Urgh. The internet's rubbish. Is there any way you can see your coaching staff attributes? Hopefully not. Because that's a real positive change that I am behind. Removing the attributes from staff. I know there's some people who don't like it. I think that is a genuinely good change. So yeah, I think it would be counterproductive to go back and start changing stuff that is obviously a creative decision. By all means, fix the bugs. By all means, fix the stuff that is obviously upsetting people because it doesn't work the way you hoped it would, like the spacebar. But stuff like removing director of football recommendations and changing staff attributes to words rather than numbers, I don't think they should change that. I think they're creative decisions that, yeah, you might not like it. People didn't like it when they removed the sliders all those years ago. There's always going to be changes that you don't like, but I think we can all agree FM24 is much better than FM10 was. And they're both better than Championship Manager 3 was. So, over the long term, the series does tend to improve. Yes, we're in a little bit of a dip in an overall upwards trajectory now. But I think even if once all the bugs are fixed, I know it's such a big if, once all the bugs are fixed on FM26, if you were to plot it on that upward trajectory timeline of each game getting a little bit better than the one before, yeah, it's probably not going to be up there with FM24 just yet, because there's still going to be stuff missing like international football. But it's also not going to be. You don't have to drop down too far, I don't think, to find a game that actually, if you went back and played it, it's not as good as this. FM26. See, right, Muddy Funsters. I agree with half of your sentence. Your sentence is FM26 is a backward step, unfortunately. I agree with everything but the last word. FM26 is a backward step, inevitably. We knew it was going to be a backward step. We've been calling it for 2 years. We knew it was going to be a backward step. It's a necessary backward step that allows additional forward steps long term. I think anyone who was expecting FM26 to be better in every way than FM24, I just think your expectations were way off. And I don't think you were listening to the last however many years. What is this? Have we just offered? This must be a loan, right? Yeah, it is a loan. Okay. But what it has done is given them something to build on for the future. So I don't mind it taking a small step back. Don't get me wrong. It's buggy and it's broken and it's not finished. And that side of it's not good enough. I get that. I'm not defending everything they've done. But the vision, I'm on board with. Don't understand why I can't set my favourite club on my manager profile. Seems like a weird thing to take out. But at the same time, it's a who cares thing. Does it make any difference at all to the game? Does it affect you knowing who your favourite club is? Does the game need to know who your favourite club is? Did it do anything? Was it there for any purpose at all? Maybe it was. Maybe it's super important. Well, I'm not going to spend money on this guy because we've just brought that loan in. We've actually got quite a lot of midfield boys now. Quite a lot. So we don't need loads of midfield boys. When you got a job at a club, it was an interview question. Oh, God, yeah, I wish they took interview questions out. Any time the game is asking me a question, I wish that was all removed. Press conferences, interviews, player interactions, media questions. If they took all of that out of the game, I think that would be an overall positive outcome. So, yeah, maybe we're looking for very different things. Not saying it's relevant, just saying it's the only thing that it influenced. Okay, yeah. And I think that's and we're not going to talk about this all evening because it's quite boring at this point, I think. And I'm trying to make my content a safe place from having to listen to this nonsense that you're getting thrust on you everywhere else you go on the internet. But what was I going to say? I've lost it. I've lost what I was going to say now. It's disappeared. Yeah, I'm sure it was really... Just imagine something really clever and insightful. That's what I said there. Edit that in, Topher. Edit in something super clever. Oh, my word. I'm tired. It's been a long couple of weeks. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What we have to remember, and I have said this pretty much every stream, but we have to remember when it comes to stuff being removed from the game, that's a simplified way of phrasing it. Because nothing has... They don't have a big lump of game and then they pull things out of it and chuck them away. They had old game and blank slate. And the process was take stuff from the old game and rebuild it in the new one. And the criteria they applied for that, it was, is it good? Do people use it? Does it work? If yes to all of them, yeah, stick that in. There are some missing. like international football, even international football, it wasn't good. So that's why it didn't come straight across. That's why that's been delayed. But yeah, the stuff that worked fine and people used, by and large, has been moved over. The stuff that hasn't been moved over is either because nobody used it, and by nobody, I mean like less than 3%, less than 5% of people used it, or it was rubbish or broken or both, and they want to do it better. And they've run out of time. They haven't been able to do it better. So rather than spending the time building a copy of the old broken version, because remember, it doesn't exist. It's a new engine. Old version doesn't exist. So to leave it the way it was before, they have to dedicate time and resources to rebuilding it. And what's the point of dedicating time and resources to rebuilding something that was broken and nobody used? So only the stuff that was used and works has been moved over. And some of it will never come back because nobody used it. And some of it will come back in the future, but in a different form, because they'll actually make it good this time, like international football. And they've been open about that for like 2 years. There was development blogs like 2 years ago telling us that was the process they were going through. We all knew that. We were all ready for that. And I think we all forgot that. But yeah, so that's the bit I like to keep reminding people when they get upset that their favourite thing has been removed. Okay, it's been removed for a reason. Either you're the only one who liked it, in which case, sorry, it might be gone, but there are enough people who liked the game and never touched it, so you'll probably be okay. Or, good news, it's coming back and it's going to be better than it was before, which is a positive thing. In an ideal world, obviously, it would all have been done for this release. And yeah, I can certainly buy into arguments of maybe they should have delayed the whole project a year or 2 years. Maybe they bit off more than they could. They definitely bit off more than they could chew. I don't think they fully understood how complicated things were going to be. I think there's a lot of stuff they built for 25 that just ended up in the bin because it wasn't any good and they changed direction a year ago. So yeah, there's obviously... There's a lot they've got wrong and a lot they could have done better, but I won't accept that it's a pile of turd and the franchise is finished, because I don't think it is. Nobody used save team selection and that was removed. I was one of a small percentage who used it every game day. Exactly. But like you say, nobody used it. It was such a small percentage of people who used it. So it's gone and it probably won't come back. Because... what's the point if nobody's going to use it? It's been in there forever. Nobody used it. Bin it off. Mitch, thank you very much for 15 months. They rushed it out and didn't have time to add it all. Yeah, I mean, that's literally what I'm saying. I mean, they didn't rush it out. They had to get it out because they missed last year already. They're a one-game studio. They couldn't go 2 years without a game. They would go out of business. So they had to release what they had now, which is why they've released a game that's unfinished and broken. And I guess... it's then a case of, okay, well, what would you have had them do? They basically had two choices: either release the unfinished broken game, which is what they had, or never release another Football Manager game. And I know with hindsight it's easy to say, oh well, they should have finished it. Yeah, I guarantee there's nobody within Sports Interactive who sat there thinking, yeah, I tell you what, amongst all of this, there's one thing I am glad of. I'm so glad we didn't finish the game. Oh, that was that decision to not finish the game. Absolutely spot on. They all wish they'd have finished it, I'm sure. That was definitely the plan. They absolutely wanted to finish it. I will hydrate. But yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't finished, and then they had to play the hand they were dealt. And yes, they dealt the hand to themselves. There were definitely mistakes that were made, and when all is said and done, there needs to be a massive review within Sega, within Sports Interactive, working out what the bad decisions were, who made them, when they were made, why they were made, and things need to be done about them. But I don't even think now is the time to do that, because the focus now should be on finishing the game, not on assigning blame about why it wasn't finished. And then once it is finished, he is a long boy. Look at the size of him. Once it is finished, then you can let the dust settle a little bit and work out why this disaster happened. Should not be normalising releasing full price games unfinished. I'm seeing a lot of people leave that message in a lot of places. I get that is the sentence. I present to you the counter argument of what should they have done instead? They didn't have a time machine. They can't go back and make better decisions 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So let's put you into Sports Interactive, put you into Sega 3 months ago. So you're there, it's 3 months ago, you've got the game in the state that it's in, and you know you have to release it or you go out of business. What do? And if your answer is, shouldn't have released it, should have just gone out of business, fair enough. If that's your preference, fair enough. I'm kind of glad they didn't. It's unfinished in your eyes by SI, it's finished. I mean, that's not even true. I don't think there's anybody within Sports Interactive who thinks this game is finished. If they think the game was finished, why are they doing a module of international football next year? Why are they releasing weekly patches? Why have they set up that Steam beat? They're not idiots. They know it's not finished. They've had to release it as it is. Alf, thank you very much for 12 months. Officially the best year of your life. They forced their own hand. They couldn't delay again. It's suicide. Whether this style and people will forget in a few games. Yeah, exactly. Like it or not, and there were obviously some terrible decisions made over the course of the last 5 years, probably. Genuinely terrible decisions made. But all they can do now, and all we can do now, is try and make the best of the situation. And I think we'll move on from it with that. You've got two choices as a consumer, just like I've got two choices as a content creator. Either I'm done. I'm not playing it anymore. I've refunded it. I'm not interested. Don't care. I'm not going to watch any more content. I'm not going to play it anymore. I'm not going to ever buy it again. It may as well be out of business. I don't care. I'm done with it. Or it is what it is. I can't magic it better. I'm going to enjoy the parts of it that are enjoyable, and there is a lot to enjoy. I'm still largely having a fun time playing the game, and we're getting like 30,000 views an episode on Non-League to Legend, so people are certainly enjoying watching it. The last 3 weeks, I've had my 2 most viewed days in my 10 years on YouTube have both happened in the last 2 weeks. So there's clearly plenty of people out there enjoying it. So I'm just going to focus on enjoying it and knowing that it will get better. I mean, it's only going to be uphill from here, isn't it? Is the game even that bad? No. No, it's obviously not the 7th worst game ever to release on Steam. It's nowhere near as buggy now as it was. I mean, you can sit here and watch this 3-hour stream this evening, and I don't think I've run into a bug yet. We've been live 43 minutes. I've not seen a single bug. That's not to say people aren't having bugs. I'm not trying to do a network game. I'm not trying to do the in-game editor. There's obviously stuff that's broken, but I've done 43 minutes and not had a problem. I'm fine. And I think there has to come a point where the people who aren't enjoying it have got to move on. Like, I released a video yesterday. It was the 3rd part in a tutorial series, which is probably why I'm having my little rant this evening. The 3rd part in a tutorial series clearly aimed at new players. It's a tutorial series I do every year, clearly aimed at new players to help them figure out this very complicated and still not particularly beginner-friendly game. And the comments were absolutely flooded with, refund the game, FM26 is rubbish. And it's like, why are you clicking on the 3rd part of a tutorial series if you, A, have played the game enough in the past to hate this version. You don't need the tutorial. What are you clicking for, you maniac? And B, what do you think you're achieving with these comments? I don't understand. I get it. You don't like the game. There's videos on my channel that I invite your opinion, and you can tell me all about why you hate it. But filling the comments on a tutorial for new players is just deranged. But yeah, I think we're hopefully coming to the end of that period now. I think once people get their space bar back, a lot of people will calm down. That's my expectation anyway. Fingers crossed. They just need their lovely space bar back. How tall is he? 6'5". Oh, what a big... I love him. I love him big. What a big boy. What a big boy. Puts them off buying it. Right, well, again, my counter to that is A, who is watching the third part of the tutorial series before they've bought it? Engage your brain, boys and girls. And B, why do you want to put other people off buying it? What's wrong with you? Just, it's fine. You don't enjoy it. Other people are allowed to. Let them get on with it. Oh, my word. I'm a long-term player who did watch the first couple of those tutorials because I wanted to see what was different. Fair enough. That's fine. Did you leave a load of bananas comments on it? Probably not, because you've turned up for a stream. They probably believe that everyone should have the same opinion, and that is the biggest problem with 2025 in general. I miss opinions. Like, not like the modern version of opinions where you see, what's the crowd? Oh, the crowd's gone that way. I'm right behind you guys, and I'm angry. That's 2025 opinions. I miss when people actually had opinions. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. People generally seem to think content creators are a direct link to SI. Someone asking if another streamer can get specific feature back. Yeah, I mean, I think it is time for me to admit that I'm the reason you've not got your spacebar back. I won't let them do it. I just they keep saying, "Oh, Kev, please, can we want it back. Please, Kev, can we put this?" No, I just will not let them. I don't want it in there, and I'm a content creator, so I make the decisions. So you're not having your spacebar back. I don't want it. I brought back 1.5 game speed. I mean, to be fair, I did put it in as a bug request when I first got the alpha. So you're welcome. That was me. I also obviously was one of many, many people who said we need a 1.5 speed. But yeah, first, I think it was my only piece of feedback on the alpha. Why is there no 1.5? 1.25 is too slow. 1.75 is too fast. Can I have a 1.5, please? Admittedly, I now want to submit a new request. Actually, can we have a 1.4? Because 1.5 still might be a little bit quick. So if you've got a 1.4, I tell you what I'd really like. Just let us adjust it the way we did on FM24, where you've got this whole 12-point scale and you can just move it a little bit until you get it exactly how you want it. 2 notches from the middle. Whatever 2 notches from the middle was, give me that. I don't know what it is in numbers. I want 2 notches from the middle, like I've had for the last 10 years. Hypothetically, if they'd cancelled this year's game, what was my plan? Same as last year's plan. I've made more money this year from my Lego channel than from my Football Manager channel. At the moment, I'm a full-time Lego content creator who dabbles in Football Manager as a hobby. Admittedly, this month, I mean, I've not received any money from the launch yet, like from the increased views, from my affiliate link, all that kind of stuff. So there obviously is money coming. I'm not going to pretend that I've not made money from the new game coming out, but it's the 9th of November. And as of right now, 2025, I have made more money from my Lego content than from my Football Manager content. That probably won't be the case by the end of November, because stuff will start coming through from the launch of the game. My check from Sports Interactive. There is no check from Sports Interactive. But yeah, I've made more money from that channel than this channel so far this year, and I've been absolutely fine. You know, people are always telling me how many holidays I go on. Well, yeah. I've not been like desperate at any point, because I've got multiple channels. I've got my vlog channel. I've got Block Party, the Lego channel, Block Party TikTok. There have been months this year where just from Block Party TikTok, I've earned more money than I used to earn as a teacher. You know, if they'd have not released the game out, I probably would have stopped making FM content until the new game came. I don't think I could have done another year of FM24. So I probably just would have stopped FM for a bit. It's not something I'd ever stop forever. Like, assuming it ever came back, I would have come back with it. But yeah, I think if they'd have had another cancellation, I would have at least massively scaled down what I was doing. Probably still done the opinion videos, the news videos, but I don't think I'd have had a Let's Play. Basically what the channel was like for the last 2 months of FM24. Pretty much since August, I've not really had a Let's Play until FM26 came out. That's what the channel would have looked like for a year if they'd have cancelled again. Is that just revenue or including Lego costs? I mean, I'm talking revenue. What I don't really, we don't look at the income and the expenses for the two channels separately. It just all goes in together. So I haven't actually got a breakdown of profit for each channel. You are right to say, obviously, I've spent a lot of money on Lego. So there's a chance profit-wise, they're probably closer together than they are purely on revenue. But if I'd have not had FM to fall back on, then I would have just had to have bought less Lego. I could still keep making the content without buying so much. I mean, in fact, if you look at, I don't know how many of you watch the Lego content, but if you actually look at the last 6 months of content, the content I've done over there has changed quite a lot anyway, because I have been buying a lot less, because the money has been slowly disintegrating because there'd been no FM. So I'd massively scaled back what we were spending on Lego anyway. So we'd have had a finish to the Empire. No. I hated that. I mean, I've talked about that on several streams. If there's one thing I learned at the end of FM20, the Empire killed FM24 for me. It was the first time in 20 years that I didn't want to play FM. Was the last couple of months of FM24, and it was all because I hated that save. It was horrible. I admit people seemed to enjoy it. Content-wise, it was quite good, but I couldn't even bring myself to make the videos. I've got a season and a half of that save where I've played it and just never made the videos because I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I hated it. So I'm never doing a save like that again. I'm just a Let's Play guy. I don't know how Tom and Luke do it. Their brains just must be wired differently to mine. I cannot. It's just... No, I'm a Let's Play guy and comfortable with it. That's what I do. I can do Let's Plays, I can do tutorials, I can do news. This feels like an audition. We're getting my CV ready. What I am not going to do is massive multi-club, multi-season projects, because it's just boring. I was bored. It was so boring. So boring. It was boring to play. It was boring to write. It was boring to make. It was boring to... It was just really boring. Clates made it work because he does 1.5 hour videos from it. Yeah, but I'd find that really boring. It's great that Clates enjoys it, and it's great that he's got an audience that enjoy it. Even if you told me it would double what I was earning, which it probably would, because I imagine all these up and coming rascals are getting way more views than I get. Nah, just not for me. I am a old school Let's Play YouTuber, and that is what I will remain. It's what I enjoy. I love making Let's Play videos. Non-League to Legend is my favourite thing. I just love it. The amount of fun I've had this week making that series. It's been so much fun. I'm back. Content is fun again. FM is fun again. It's probably one of the reasons I'm so positive about the game, because I am having so much fun, because I'm just playing it the way I want to play it. I've not done a single rebuild. And I probably will do stuff like that, because I can't just do 4 videos a year that get views and then just trundle along with episode 38s for the rest of the year. So there is going to be rebuild stuff that I have to do and experiment stuff that I have to do. But I'm just having so much fun just doing a Let's Play. It's so much fun. We're suddenly good at attacking. Let's Plays are dying out recently, unfortunately. I see people say that a lot. And my counter to that is they're not. They're just not growing as fast as the one-off stuff. I checked this because I sat there when I was planning for the FM26 launch. I sat there and was like, right, what kind of content do I need to make? Do I need to change as a YouTuber? I've been doing it 10 years. The world seems to be moving on. I've gone from being one of the big 3 to, oh, now it's a big 4 to now there's a big 5 and I might not be in it. And it's like, okay, so clearly I'm going to have to make some changes. But actually, every non-League to Legend, apart from last year's one that was on a game that didn't exist. So if we ignore the 2025 version that wasn't on a new game, all of the other non-League to Legends I've ever done, each one has got more views than the one before. So it's not that if Let's Plays were dying, that would be going down, but it's not. That the audience that I have for my Let's Plays is still growing, and it grows every year. It's just not growing as fast as the audience that Tom has got, Luke's got, Zealand's got, Clates has got, because they're making very different kind of content. And I'm comfortable with that. I don't need to grow as fast as them. I don't need to have 1 million subscribers. I don't need to be a YouTuber. I'm still doing all right. You know, I'm doing fine. I've got and it is difficult to do, but remind myself that I shouldn't be comparing myself to what other creators are doing. I should compare myself to myself. So if I compare my channel now to my channel 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, then it's clear I am doing something right and moving in the right direction. Just because there's some people who've overtaken me, so what? I'm still doing all right. I'm still doing better than I ever have before. I saw anyone who watched, this is a ridiculous game of football, by the way, that we're just chatting over. What a ridiculous game of football. Anyone who watches Minecraft content, Mumbo Jumbo put a video out a week or 2 back. Oliver, thank you very much for becoming a channel member over on YouTube. talking about pretty much this exact same thing, about how he's a Let's Play guy and people don't watch Let's Plays anymore, and explaining why Let's Plays don't work, and put it in the context of there's two types of content creator. There's the idea content creator, like Mr. Beast, like Zealand or Luke or Clates or Tom, where each video is where you do less content, but you put more of an idea, more originality, more like there's more focus on that one video. So you might release one a week, a couple a week, but there'll be big, fancy, highly edited productions based around a concept that the hope is that they're going to go viral. And each one is, I'm trying to come up with an idea that goes viral so that I can get my 1 million views for the month off this one video and take a bit of the pressure off. There's the ideas creators. And then there's the community creators, the ones who are building up that returning audience, where you turn up every day, you make the same kind of videos to the same group of people, and it's a smaller group and you don't ever go viral, but you turn up every day, they turn up every day, and it's all about building a community. And I think that's what I've spent the last 10 years doing, and it's clearly working, because you lot have turned up on a Sunday night, you maniacs, to hear me just waffle about whatever's going on in my brain. And that's awesome. That's super duper awesome with bells on. So yeah, I'm comfortable being a community creator because it's fun. Ultimately, the criteria are, is it fun? Yes. Does it pay me more than I got paid as a teacher? Yes. Well, in that case, you know, is there anything I could have more fun doing? No. Is there anything I could earn more money doing? Not really, because I tried doing the idea stuff and hated it. So I couldn't do it long term because I would burn out in no time. So there is no job I could get where I'd earn as much money as I earn making Let's Plays. And I love making Let's Plays. So on that basis, keep doing it. So yeah, Let's Plays aren't dying, is my response. We're talking the old difference between TV and movie. Yeah, I guess we are. That's a good way of putting it. They're making movies. I'm making EastEnders. I mean, every part of that sentence is accurate. And I'm not sure if I should be so comfortable with it. Oh, they're making Jurassic Park and I'm making Corrie. But you know what? Everyone knows who Vera Duckworth is. Oh my word. Every viral video brings new eyes to the community anyway. It's not an either or. I don't always turn YouTube off once I've seen. Yeah, exactly. Still don't understand how those soaps are still going. And I mean, that sums it up perfectly, because the amount of comments I get from people who don't understand how I'm still going. I mean, yeah, Not Need to Legend has been incredibly popular, but there's still been the usual bunch of people going, oh my God, you're doing the same thing again that you do every year. Yes, that's the selling point. That's why people have tuned in. That's what people want. They want this. Yes, it's the 11th time I've done the same save. You think that's a criticism? Am I planning on rating Wonder Kids with Zealand? Absolutely not. No. What do I know about Wonder Kids? I mean, if he wants to have me on, I'll come on there and have a laugh and a joke. Like I did I think he had me and Ben on to do it once before. But I don't know. I can't look at a player's attributes and tell you if they're good or not. This is probably repetitive, but what's the title referring to today? What issues need fixing? These issues. We're not in good form. Oh, have I been a rascal with the title? Oh. Yeah, we're 19th in the league. What other issues could need fixing, boys and girls? I'm well, Captain Clickbait's done it again. What a naughty boy. Here's one. Who's the Wonder Kid content creator of FM? I honestly, I don't watch enough. I am now at the point where I don't know who a lot of them are. And that's not me deliberately trying to be a turd, but I don't watch FM content. I've been doing it for 10 years. Like, if you're a butcher, if your day job is a butcher, do you come home from work in the evenings and watch videos of people chopping up cows? Probably not. So I don't really watch it. Like, I'll watch Jack's episode 1 when he eventually does Park to Prem, assuming he is going to do Park to Prem, just to see what he's up to. And if Tom or Luke or somebody goes super massive viral and I don't immediately know what they've done from looking at the title and the thumbnail, I might watch the first 5 minutes to get the concept and figure out what they've done, just to understand what they've done. If Zealand has a video that everyone comes in here and says, have you seen what Zealand's had to say about Miles being in GQ? Or what? I might watch as long as that video as I can tolerate before I've had enough Zealand. But on the whole, I don't really watch FM content. So I don't really know who's doing stuff. Like, my instinct when you say Wonder Kid is someone like Peachy, who's been around for years. I mean, in FM terms, he's like 29 by now. At best, he's got the chance to be a late developer. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's up and coming. No idea. There's a Discord for FM content creators, and a load of new people got added to that recently, and I didn't know who any of them were. I ain't got a clue. And again, that's not meant in an insulting way, and I know it sounds awful, but I don't think I need to know. Ultimately, if they stick around long enough and are good enough, they'll end up at Sports Interactive with me at some point, or in a Streamer Showdown with me, or in the league with me. Yeah, Robbo is probably a good shout. Robbo's a perfect example, because Robbo was in the league. Robbo has been to a couple of events now, so I've met Robbo. So I would say the fact that I'm aware he exists means he's probably already gone beyond Wonder Kid status. That was a wild challenge, by the way. Nominated Legends a story, and I'm interested in where the story leads. Just don't stay at Bedford for the whole series. Oh, I won't. Unless it makes sense to. Kempy could be an FM Wonder Kid. See, I don't know who that is. I think I've heard the name, but I feel like I've been hearing the name for years. But I couldn't tell. Does he stream? Is it YouTube? Is it TikTok? I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you what he looks like. I watch Y Callum. Yeah, I've met him a few times. I'm sure there's a lot of good content being created out there. I just don't want to watch it. Because I'm busy making my own. Am I the old boy in FM? I mean, I'm one of the older ones, aren't I? I'm not the oldest in terms of chronological age or how long I've been doing it. So I'm not like proper old. But I'm one of that first generation that went full time. There's like 3 or 4 of us who all went full time within a few months of each other. And I was in that group. I was in that group who it was cool to get to 15, 20,000 subscribers because no one had really done it before. It was mad when the first couple of people were getting to 50 and I was there or thereabouts. I was never the first to hit any of these milestones, but I think I was the third to hit 100k behind Jack. Could I have been second? Did Zealand get there before me? I could have been the second to get 100k. Maybe, I think Zealand must have been just ahead of me, but he wasn't far ahead of me. He was kind of motoring up behind me and then lurched past me. And I may be the 5th or 6th to get to 200k. Who have we got on 200k? Zealand, Jack, Tom. Luke's probably there by now, is he? So I'm like 4th or 5th. So and 300k, I'll be lucky if I'm in the top 10 to get to 300k. This game is not going to plan, is it? I only watch one FM content creator and the handsome rascal is on my screen now. What a comment. Kev's getting attacked. I mean, that does loop back round to that question that was asked earlier in the stream. When am I starting the new save? If I get sacked, then we might start the new save. Even the idea that an FM channel has 200k is mental. Oh, yeah, exactly. 5 years ago, absolutely unheard of. Because 5 years ago, that's the thing to remember. 5 years ago, Football Manager was celebrating getting to 1 million players. So the idea of a channel getting anywhere near to a quarter of that was insane. So this isn't the solution when you go down to 10 men is what I'm learning. I'm just going to take my medicine in this game. I'm not even going to try and stop that. You know what? We're just going to instant result it. I don't care. We're not turning this game around. Let's just get out. We lost 7-1. Oh my word. Oh my, I'm glad I didn't have to sit and watch it, but that was hideous. Hapless Peterborough, well beaten. Right. How do I get to Club Vision? I'm sure it's here somewhere. Performance feedback. No worries. We're all good. We're all good. That hasn't worked, has it? Hi, me again. Tactics time. Tactics with Kev. Let's do some tactics. We're going counter. Oh, I'm not a pervert. I just can't. We'll go wing play. We'll try a 4-2-3-1. That's the other one that's being recommended. And we'll do that. This is very similar to what we were doing last year. So let's try this again. Pick best 11 and then slap some rolls in there. Those rolls make sense. They kind of do. Gets Leonard back into the team, which is nice. Right. We switch back to that. Where would you put yourself on the revenue leaderboard? What, in FM creators? I mean, it's not complicated to work out. Just look at who gets the most views. And I don't know. It's not something I keep track of. I assume Zealand gets more views, therefore he probably earns the most. And then I don't know what order it is after that. I imagine me and Jack are fairly similar. I imagine Tom, Luke and Clates are probably all ahead of us. So yeah, and then there's me and Jack, and then everyone else is probably quite a long way behind us, I guess. I don't think I'm missing anybody out there, am I? I've seen Zealand is sponsored by the MLS and someone like Continental Tires now. Holy smokes. I mean, spoilers, I've got biscuits for Tuesday. Right. If Ben did it for a consistent period of time, he'd be near you and Jack. I mean, Ben's a streamer, isn't he? Ben is more a streamer than a YouTuber these days. So I don't know. Maybe I don't think I think it would take time to build a YouTube channel back up again from where he is now. And I'm not sure he's that interested in doing it because he's doing as well as he is on Twitch. I mean, Zealand aside, he gets more views than anybody else on Twitch. So I think he's quite happy in his little streamer niche that he's got for himself. Whereas I'm very much a YouTuber who streams. A YouTuber who streams sometimes. I would say he's a streamer who makes YouTube videos sometimes. So it's kind of a different thing. And I have no idea how it pays compared to what I do. Right. So we're back to this. And it's going to work. In your face, Plymouth. I hope you're ready. I've had more biscuits than watching an MLS game. That's the spirit. Biscuits are great. And from Tuesday onwards, for a couple of weeks, I'll be telling you specifically which biscuits are great. Why are we only unbalanced? Let's go positive. An American getting more views in Football Manager, and he uses that annoying word from time. Yeah, but he is. America is quite a large market, and he is the only American doing it. So he's got that corner, doesn't he? I suspect he's probably got a much higher percentage of viewers from America than any of the rest of us have. What biscuits could I recommend outside of my upcoming sponsorship? I don't know that I can discuss other biscuits this month. I haven't read the contract. So, as much as I slag the current game off, still loving your content. Well, that's the spirit. That's what we're trying to achieve here. If that had gone in, that would be the end of the stream. I would just be walking off. That would be that. If he scores from there, I am going to bed. That would have been very upsetting. Will we want to pick up these biscuits by any chance? Possibly, yeah. Have I got a new stream sponsor? Have I got a new stream sponsor? Not yet. Maybe on Tuesday, though. Maybe on Tuesday we'll have a new stream sponsor. I'll reveal who it is on Tuesday. Early access biscuits. Yeah, exactly. Depends. I'm from America and I watch your content. I'd rather drink paint than watch Zealand's content. Oh, I want that on a poster. What a sentence. Right, let's do a goal. 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 Any chance for clue who the sponsor is? No. Not giving any clues. You'll find out on Tuesday. Zed's videos are only good as background noise. What on earth is going on in your background that you want all that shouting to block it out? Should I put my pink hat on, by the way? Anna hates my hat. I think it's great. There we go. Nah, I can't. Look like a right plum streaming with a hat on. My word. Right. Come on then. Do something, you bumholes. See, the problem with this system, I remember why we stopped doing it now. Garbit's our best player, and he just doesn't fit into this system. But I guess if we're generally rubbish, it doesn't matter if we've got a good player playing well. Will I reveal what chicken shop I'm living above in the next video? I said in the video that came out today. How embarrassing was it talking to the players you let go in game? Not embarrassing at all. Yeah, I've got a unique combination of incredible social awkwardness because I don't know what to say, but it doesn't embarrass me in the slightest. So yeah, I had absolutely zero embarrassment or anything like that, but yeah, just didn't really know what to say to them. When they said, "Do you want to do a team talk now, Kev?" I'm like, not really. No, I do a football, I guess. I didn't understand. I've got a whole 10 minutes of tactical talk filmed. I don't know what he's saying for half of it. It's very confusing. These football lot really do like to overcomplicate football. Just do goals and stuff. Do goals. It's not hard. Guess autism has its advantages. Less likely to feel embarrassment. Yeah, exactly. There's zero embarrassment, but also zero ability to actually act like a human in a situation like that. So it's got its pluses and minuses. Just blame the FM researcher. Oh yeah, I mean, we had that as soon as I got there. We had that conversation because Gamfi, the 6'5" midfielder, we did talk about it quite a lot yesterday. I don't think I mentioned it as much as I could have done in the vlog. And the bit where we talked about it in the changing room was edited out because it was very sweary. There was a lot of swearing. Footballers swear a lot. But Gamfi, who's 6'5" in game, is very much not 6'5" in real life. So, yeah, that was a source of much amusement amongst the players. Right, let's do a football goal here. Come on. Come on. How much money would someone have to pay you to switch your head hair situation with Zealand's? I'll just swap my income for his income. If we had to swap hairlines and incomes, I make that deal. If they had to go together, I am comfortable with the terms of that deal. I will make that deal. Thank you. Did I shrink the player? I can only assume that it's Zealand's mum who sets the heights in Football Manager. The same person who told Zealand he's 6'2" told Gamphy he's 6'5". Yes, come on then. Is that John Russell from Barnsley in my midfield? It is John Russell from Barnsley. Is he 6'5" in real life? Because he is in game as well. 6'5" seems to be the default age. Age? Height. I don't think you measure age in inches. Maybe you do. I triggered Work the Space so much on the stream the other night saying LOLLUJO is the king of the network game. He didn't like it at all. I mean, I am. Until he started cheating, I dominated that. The first one we did, I absolutely dominated. And then he sucked all the fun out of it with his cheaty download tactics from Indonesia. How tall is he? What, Gamphy? Probably 5'11". Maybe 6 foot if he has really long studs. He's certainly not 6'5". He's shorter than me. All right. Well, there you go. We've changed back to last season's tactic and ended our 6-match winless run. It seems like this is the system for us. We might not get promoted this year. All right. Who are we playing next? When are we playing them? Now. Now we're winning again. I'm ready for another football match immediately. Do you think anyone in the FM space will hit 1 million subs? Yeah, Zealand will. And Tom will. Not like imminently, but yeah, definitely. There's 20 million players out there now. The biggest creators could easily get 3, 4, 5 million. It will never be me because I don't make that kind of content. But Tom and Zealand in particular, I think both will get 1 million subscribers. What are the odds on LOLLUJO actually becoming Bedford's new manager? 0. I would hate to be an actual football manager. I'll get 1 million subscribers on my Lego channel. That'll be where I get my 1 million. I still think I'll get 1 million one day. It just won't be in FM. Ironically, I have gone into... I've taken everything I've learned from watching what Zealand and Tom have done in FM and have applied it to Lego and have grown that channel incredibly quickly. Doing the kind of content that nobody else was really doing. So yeah, I'll get my 1 million in Lego and be quite happy. I mean, if they want to pay me 1 million in Lego, I'll take that as well. Are we that down on FM that we think it's going to stifle creators? Who we took? I just gave you 2 names that were going to get 1 million subscribers. I don't think that's stifling, is it? Do I do press conferences on Lego then? I mean, I do my own version of the official chart show, amongst other things. I have lots of fun with the Lego content because, I mean, it started with it doesn't really matter because I make my money playing Football Manager. And that allowed me to be really wildly experimental and do things that I never would try because it didn't matter if they failed, which then led me to a few formats that really worked really well. And then, yeah, the channel grew really quickly. What's the Lego channel name? Block Party. Which you might notice hasn't had a lot of uploads in the last 2 weeks because I've been busy with FM. But I will be back on there with regular content again from tomorrow onwards. I've promised everybody. Didn't mean it badly. I suppose it should have phrased it better. Do you feel the dislike for FM26 will impact the growth of your channel compared to if it was more popular? No. I've had my two best days ever in the last couple of weeks. I've added more subscribers in the last week than I have any week since like the pandemic, probably, in a single week. I actually think I wish it was tactical. I wish I'd done it deliberately. But I actually think accidentally positioning myself as a safe haven for people who are bored of hearing people moan about FM is massively helping my channel. Heard Zealand say a few times if he wanted to, he believes he could grow a massive channel on a game like Minecraft. I'm sure he could. I'm sure I could. I think anyone who's been able to carve out a career for as long as some of us have now, I mean, I've been doing this 10 years. I've been full-time for 8 years. I'm pretty sure I could create maybe not a massive channel. Maybe that's not my niche, my expertise. But I think you could give me any topic and I could make it a full-time income within, let's say, 18 months. Probably a year. It might take 18 months. But starting from zero, I think I could get to like UK. Let's say I can get to UK minimum wage in 18 months on any topic. I'm very confident of that. It doesn't have to be gaming. Anything. A channel dedicated to bullying Topher. That's this one. Any topic. I look forward to your work with makeup for Bratz dolls. Well, that's the thing. I don't need to do it on any topic. I don't need to pick weird topics. I've picked my own topics. I've done it with Football Manager. I've done it with the vlog. I've done it with travel. I've done it with Lego. I'd argue for some topics the target market is too tiny. Will you broaden that a little bit then? Like maybe someone said makeup for Bratz dolls. Let's take that as the example. Maybe I don't make it just about makeup for Bratz dolls. I have that as my starting point, the thing I'm super interested in. But broaden it and make it about all dolls. And I mean, I'd have to have time to become an expert in it, but I'd find my niches within dolls. And I'd still make sure there was plenty of stuff on there about makeup for Bratz dolls, but there'd be other stuff as well. Like with the Lego channel, the thing I really wanted to do was build a Lego city, but it was pretty clear early on that the people who focus just on doing that don't get enough views because it's not interesting enough for new people. The only thing new people want to see is the finished, really cool Lego city. The actual process of learning how to do it and slowly building it over a number of years doesn't really get that kind of traction. So I added in other stuff. We added in the conventions. We added in the Lego shopping. We've added in deal hunting stuff. We've added in, what else do we do? All sorts of stuff in Lego. And because of that, I was able to add stuff that's adjacent to it, that the people who are interested in one thing will be interested in the other thing. And we actually get way more views on the Lego City stuff than we would have done if that was all we did, because we've grown a generic Lego channel. What made you decide to make a Football Manager YouTube channel? I love Football Manager. I play it every day and have done for 30 years, more than 30 years. It is my original, longest running, most consistent obsession as an autistic man. It's the thing I will do for the rest of my life, regardless. So I may as well make some money out of it. But yeah, I just love the game. I love Football Manager. Always have. What about if you had to do it anonymously? Oh, I tell you, I've got ideas for that. I am this close. I've got a whole launch plan for faceless, anonymous channel ideas. I actually think that's probably easier to do, because there's so much of it you can outsource. I think I could probably, and I might even do it because it would be an interesting video for the vlog channel, saying, look, I did this. But I think I could do a faceless channel even quicker than a year and get that to the point, and outsource almost all of it. I think that's super easy. But you need the expertise. If you have quality and consistency, anyone can make a successful channel. Exactly. You just have to know what you're doing and know and have a little bit of confidence in your conviction for it. Like, so some people fail at being a content creator because they just don't have the personality for it and they'll never be able to do it. But there's everyone can probably think of examples of people over the years where they've seen them thought, oh, they're quite good, and then they've just disappeared. It's like, oh, that's a shame. My favorite content creator didn't make it. They're not doing it anymore. They probably just gave up too soon, or weren't consistent enough, or got distracted, didn't try hard enough, whatever it might be. But if someone's got the personality, then the only thing holding them back is just getting on with it. I liked it when you and someone else critiqued other FM YouTubers. I feel like I can't really do that now because there's so many that are bigger than me. I think it was me and Ben doing the content clinic made sense when we were 2 of the big 3 or 2 of the big 4. I don't know that it makes sense when we're not even in the top 5, either of us. It becomes a little bit, I don't know. It's not the same thing anymore. I think that's probably someone else should do that now. Who's the top 5? In terms of views, Zealand, Tom, Luke, Clates. And then depending on the day, it could be me, it could be Jack, I guess. I don't actually know. We're probably pretty similar. But yeah, the 4, Zealand, Tom, Luke, Clates. And then you've got me and Jack. And then I'm talking just purely in terms of YouTube as well, like YouTube views. How could we be sure you're not in charge of a popular anonymous channel already? Maybe I am. Seriously, I've got a launch plan planned out for a specific niche that I think would be quite a straightforward one to crack and outsource a lot of. And I'm so tempted to do it that I'm not even going to tell you what the niche is, because I want to be able to release a video in a year's time saying I made 20 grand with a faceless YouTube channel, and just show document the whole process and do it as a standalone video. The problem is it's time. Like, I can't start it now because I'm busy, but it might be something that I do in the new year. Maybe give myself 2026 to see what I can do, and then at the end of the year be like, well, I did it. This is the channel, and this is where it got to, and this is how much money it made. I think that would be quite fun. Do I listen to podcasts? Nothing educational or useful. No. Or FM related. I listen to some wrestling stuff. I listen to, I like Jack Mate's Happy Hour. I like, The Rest is Entertainment. I like Joe Marler's podcast that I can't remember the name of. So there's a few that have just kind of appeared over the years on my subscriptions. I don't even know how I found a lot of them, but I don't listen to a lot. Doesn't Anna do a podcast? Anna does a podcast with me. Josh Daly, is he on the FM list? What's the FM list? I don't think he's in that top 5 we were talking about before in terms of, bearing in mind, that's not an opinion about who are the best 5. That was me guessing at who were the 5 who got the most views on YouTube. So I suspect he's not in that. If he is, then maybe I need to be more aware of him. Let's talk wrestling. Who do you want for John Cena's final opponent? I put my proposal on Twitter and offered to be the go-between between Tony Khan and Triple H to make it happen, and neither of them got back to me. But my proposal was that AEW let Edge do it in exchange for him being given his name back to use in AEW going forward, so that we could have one last tag title run for Edge and Christian as actual Edge and Christian, and that could be in AEW, and Edge gets to be John Cena's final opponent. But apparently my idea was just too good, so they decided not to do it. But I suspect it won't happen. Honestly, I don't really care. I haven't watched any of this John Cena run. I've not really watched any wrestling this year. I just don't have time for it. I've been too busy. I keep up to date with what's going on so that I can dip back in at any moment if something particularly interesting happens. But yeah, I've not really watched anything from either company this year. Did I see the Arsenal versus Sunderland game? I saw the second half. I was driving back from Bedford for the first half, so I saw the second half. I'm not as concerned about it as half of Twitter seemed to be. If anything, it'll stop all the nonsense of people talking about Arsenal breaking Chelsea's goals conceded record. It's like, who cares? Who cares about a goals conceded record? The only thing that matters is that 4-point gap at the top of the Premier League. And yes, it would have been nice if that was a 6-point gap. But you know what? At the start of the season, I think you take a 4-point gap. So I think it's probably okay. And Sunderland away, with the way Sunderland have been playing this season, is a tricky match. Are you gutted that the one Peterborough game you missed was a 5-0 win? Gutted's the wrong word. You can't be gutted about your team winning 5-0. But, I mean, you saw in the matchday vlog, I missed the third goal in the Bedford match because I was so flabbergasted at what was going on at Posh that I was basically half watching that. I couldn't get the actual video. I didn't have a strong enough signal, but I had FOTMob open in front of me all afternoon, being like, and I kept turning to Matt going, It's 3-0 now. Matt, it's 4-0 now. It's 5-0 now. So yeah, it was bonkers. But I mean, proves all you need is a bald manager. That's the future. Would you play Football Manager any differently if you did it with no content in mind? No. No, I play it the way I want to play it. I've said loads of times, the non-League to Legend rule set is the way I played FM for years. I used to post on the old Llama forum on Sports Interactive like 15 years ago. It's basically their rules that I just turned into a YouTube series. The only difference is that's all I would do. I mean, what I used to do before content was the day the game came out, I would start my save with my first manager. He would play his full career following the non-League to Legend rules. I wouldn't feel the need to end the career because it was getting boring for content. It's like non-League to Legend ends when we win the Champions League. It never used to. It would just keep going until the career was over. So I'd get to the point where I would win like 10 Champions Leagues in a row with that manager. And then I'd retire that manager in that save, sim forward 5 years, and then just add a new manager and carry on in that save. I got to like 3 generations multiple times, like 100 years in the future, just playing through my save. And it would just be the one save file for the entire FM cycle. And that would be the only save I would do. So I can't do all of that for content, but I do the bits that people find interesting and then move on to something else afterwards. Big Mike, thank you very much for the Prime. Oh, I need to hydrate. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Football. Beautiful stuff. Although it's only the Virtue Trophy, so who cares? Who cares? Never considered continuing in the same save universe with a new manager. May try it this year. It's a lot of fun. I don't think it would work for YouTube because, I mean, as a Let's Play guy, I don't really want any series to go beyond 100 episodes, because by 100 episodes you really are starting to dwindle for views, and you really want that episode 1 boost again. The drawback to doing Let's Plays is it's like the opposite of what a healthy growing channel would do, because you know on a 100-part Let's Play series every video will get slightly fewer views than the video before. So if you just did the same series throughout the entire game, you'd have spent a whole year of your channel gradually going down. So you need to basically time it right so that the episode 1 drops before your daily views have gone below where they were before the series started. That's how you do the growth. So you take a big boost at the start of a series and then try and start the next one before views have dropped down to the level they were before you started that one, if that makes sense. So yeah, in my experience, about 100 episodes. If I do 3 big series a year, that keeps the channel moving in the right direction. You do that for Twitch saves, though. I mean, Twitch is something I've only ever done for a bit of fun. I do it because I like it. Twitch has never been a huge business priority for me. I like sitting here and chatting like this. I mean, I work on my own in this room and don't talk to anybody. So the only time I get to talk about stuff, it's why my Twitch streams aren't really super focused on playing the game. The game goes on in the background and then we chat, because it's the only chat I get to have. So that I do Twitch to keep me sane, or streams, I guess, because we now put them on YouTube as well. But the streams are to keep me sane. It doesn't really matter if they're being optimized. I'm not trying to optimize them. Should I buy FM26 or wait until they fix the game? Download the demo and just decide for yourself. There's a demo on Steam. You can play all the way through till Christmas of the first season. Download it, play it all the way through to where it tells you can't play any further, and then decide for yourself. You don't need anyone else to tell you. You can decide if you like the game or not after half a season. But then you'll know how it runs on your machine, and you'll know if you're enjoying it. So now there's a demo out, there's really no reason for anyone to get a refund, because if you thought there was any chance at all you might not like it, you probably should have got the demo first. Twitch is basically a Kev radio chat show. Yeah, exactly. Work from home is so weird like that. How you can go through the whole day and not talk to anyone. Yeah, it's mad. Especially during a launch period like this. It's why I tend to stream more during the launch period, because I barely even see Anna during the launch period, especially at the moment, because she's been sick for like a month. So we're basically quarantining from each other at the moment, because I can't afford to get sick. We can't afford for me to be sick during the game launch. So anyone who watches the Lego channel will know that she's not even been on the Lego streams because she's lost her voice, and she's had no voice for like 3 weeks now. I can't lose my voice for 3 weeks. That would never financially recover from me losing my voice for 3 weeks during a game launch. So Yeah, I'm barely even seeing Anna. Can you use mouse and keyboard on console for FM? I think so, yeah. You'd have to do text to speech. I know. Toph would have to do my voiceovers. Right, we're not watching a penalty shootout because nobody cares. So we're just instant result. I love instant result. Oh, what a... I know there's a lot wrong with FM26, but what an incredible step forward an instant result button is. It's incredible. He's broken his leg. Oh, dear. Oh, dearie me. Your poorly leg, Tyler. Poorly old leg. Is the episode 1 boost really an episode 1 boost or a new version of FM boost or a combination of both? Would you get a boost for episode 101 if it made a new version of FM? Not really, no. It's definitely an episode 1 boost. I mean, the biggest episode 1 boost of the year is the new game, new episode boost, new game, new series boost. But yeah, it doesn't matter what time of year it is. Episode 1 is always the most viewed episode of the series. And an episode 1 will always get more views than the last episode of the series before, or else I've done something desperately wrong. So yeah, it's definitely an episode 1 boost. I mean, if you look at last year, I did Non-League to Legend last year with no game. Well, not with no game. I'm not that talented. I used FM24 for the second time to do Non-League to Legend in its normal November slot. And it still got a big episode 1 boost. It wasn't like a new game episode 1 boost, but it was still like probably, I don't know, maybe 70, 80,000 views on episode 1 of last year's Non-League to Legend, which this year's one will get to 250,000 views probably because it's got a new game. Shame it's broken. Can't use it pre-match. What, you can't use the instant result pre-match? Since when? What are you playing on? He's a player we've had before. I'm going to instant result this match to see if I can. This is for science. Because apparently you can't instant result pre-match. Looks like you can. And we won 5-0. Leonard got 4 goals. I'm instant resulting every match. Instant result's a better manager than I am. What's gone on there? We were 5-0 up at half time. Oh my word. Outstanding. Yeah, I am the problem. Should we just instant result the whole season? Oh, this is dangerous. Can you imagine? This is how you create a monster like Luke. The day he found the simulate button. This might be my villain origin story. That's absurd, though. Who were we playing? How good are they? Wickham. I mean, they were above us in the league as well. Oh, no. How has that happened? I mean, that's not ideal, is it? Just seen on the Block Party Discord, someone has posted an account robbing your content on Insta. Oh, it's Instagram this time, is it? Yeah, these things happen. There's not a lot you can do about it. If you see stuff like that, report them if you want, but it's just part of being a creator. It happens all the time. It's certainly not unique to Block Party. It's not unique to any particular platform. It's just one of those things that happens. Just don't buy anything that I supposedly DM you trying to sell you. Because I promise you, I will never DM you trying to sell you something. Can we watch the highlights of the game? I mean, does that work? That's a dangerous thing. Let's see. We'll try. Hold on. We'll try. I don't know for sure that this even works. I've not actually tried to do this. We'll just watch the goals. Seems to work. Right, here we go. Oh, God, from kickoff. Tell me this is just going to be the goals. Oh, we've not got to sit through the whole match now. Did we score straight from kickoff? Oh dear. 26 seconds the first goal was. Okay, there's 2-0. Bit random, but what's my sleeping schedule like at the moment? Aside from launch night and beta night, when I was up till like 2, 3 a.m, pretty good. There's his hat trick. I'm asleep by 11, up at 7, 7:30 as normal. Does that mean the home FC stadium I PayPal'd LOLLUJO £1,000 for isn't going to come? It means exactly that, yes. Have you noticed issues with the game crashing or freezing? Not at all, no. And my disclaimer to that would be I'm playing on a very, very high-end PC that cost me far more money than anyone should spend on a computer. But yeah, I've not had any crashes apart from that one night where we had the patch that they patched again after a few hours. We got a couple of crashes on stream that night, but other than that, I have not had a single crash through the beta or the full release of the game. We had a little bit of lagginess, but that was the stream and OBS settings rather than the game, because I never got it on my end. It's always run really well for me. Yeah, there's bugs, but nothing consistently problematic that I read about people having. Do you have a pay for instant result level in the Twitch points? I don't, but maybe I should. But then people would use it for like Champions League finals, and that could be disastrous. It wasn't you who DM'd me about buying photos of me in the bath. That actually was me. That is the exception. My game launches twice at startup. I think that happens for everyone. That's happened to me. Yeah, that happens to me every time I open it, which is only about 3 times a week because most of the rest of the time it stays open. But yeah, I do have it opens, closes, opens again, but it doesn't crash dump that. That's not a crash. I don't really know what's going on there. But yeah, it does that. It's done that since the start of the beta. Weirdly, didn't do it on the alpha. That started on the beta and has happened consistently since. But as it doesn't have any impact in-game, and I don't open the game very often, I certainly don't count it as a crash. Look at us go. All we needed was that confidence-boosting 5-0 win because I'm a great manager. My game only does that on my PC. It doesn't on my laptop. Weird. It might be a certain thing with certain graphics cards then, maybe. I do have my game files redirected to a secondary drive, which so do I. So maybe it doesn't recognize the file location on first launch. That's interesting because so do I. I have my save files go into my Dropbox so I can access them on my laptop as well. Not that I have yet, but plus it's just safer to keep them backed up on the cloud. So that, if that's what's causing it, yeah, it might be that because I have my files redirected to a secondary drive as well. So maybe it is that. I'm having issues with loading games. Game couldn't be loaded a lot. Have to click load a few times, but once in a game I haven't had many issues. Well, that's weird because I've not had that issue. It is interesting how many of the bugs seem to be very specific to certain people. Certain people get the same bug a lot, and it's a bug that other people don't get at all. And it's clear that part of the problem is certain hardware clashes. And it doesn't even necessarily mean your hardware is not good enough. It could just be your particular hardware combination is one that hasn't been tested enough. And there's just a little quirk to it, like the aliens that I had last year. We all laughed at Sports Interactive when they were like, try a different monitor. And eventually when Matt came and fixed it, it was because of the refresh rate on my monitor. That's what was causing it. It was literally my monitor that was the problem. He locked the FPS at 60. Does that make sense? This is all a bit outside of my expertise, but he locked the FPS at 60 and it fixed the aliens. So it literally was my monitor causing the problem, which is why SI couldn't replicate it because they didn't have my monitor. I still get the aliens if I don't leave the match quickly enough. Might be your monitor refresh rate. I've had them a couple of times on this FM, which is weird when they've rebuilt the whole game, that they've somehow managed to bring that issue over. I don't really understand how any of this works. I like to talk as if I do, but if I think about it too hard, I do start to believe we never actually landed on the moon. So I try not to think about it too hard. I really wanted the teleporting goalkeeper bug. Yeah, I'm gutted that there was I remember reading through that change list on stream. I'm gutted that they fixed that before I even knew it existed. I would have loved a teleporting goalkeeper. Aliens at the end, isn't that the spike graphic from the arena roof glitching in screen? It can be sometimes. It's not always though. Sometimes you just get them for no reason at all. This is beautiful football. This is beautiful football. It deserves a football goal. Is anyone going to do a football goal for me? Look at this passing. Oh. The VAR bug is the worst. Drawing to Chelsea because the goal they scored was 5 yards offside, but was given by VAR. See, I don't think that's a bug, and I could be wrong, but I know that has been suggested as a feature in the past. Basically making VAR and referees make mistakes. And it's something that it obviously shouldn't happen consistently, but it is coded into the game that it's not always right because that's realistic. It shouldn't be always right. So I don't think you're describing a bug there. I think you're describing VAR being rubbish because the game is a simulation. Now, it's maybe been a little bit heavy-handed representing it if it was actually 5 yards. If it wasn't even close, yeah, it's probably being a little heavy-handed. But it is deliberately making referees make mistakes and make VAR get stuff wrong sometimes. Porky in the YouTube chat. Couple of things. Firstly, don't be coming in here with your youth speak. Allow me to read this out. Lol, man's ignored 4 of my questions for some reason. I am 43 years old. If you're genuinely trying to get my attention, that is not the language that we use around here. But I would also counter that with your questions. Your first question was, have you noticed issues with the game crashing or freezing? Which I literally answered and we talked about for several minutes. You've then put, did he answer my question? Which I didn't answer because I was still answering your question when you asked it. Then you've put, what's that bug? Which I'll level with you. I didn't see. Then we've had, lol, man's ignored 4 of my questions. So yeah, Chill out, you rascal. The S was a typo. I'm Dutch. I mean, that is not an excuse. I've never met a Dutch person who doesn't speak better English than I do. You could have picked any other nationality there, and I might have accepted it. But trying to put a spelling mistake down to being Dutch, no one is going to believe. You skipped over my questions. I mean, Porky, have you got the sound on? Because not only did I not, but I've literally just gone through and explained to you how I didn't, and you're still saying I'm skipping over your questions. Can somebody type in the YouTube chat, just suggest he puts the sound on? Because I don't think he can hear the answers. My word. Is he a troll? No, he's Dutch. Perhaps he can't hear unless you reply in Dutch. Stroopwafel. Bitterballen. Drugs. I couldn't think of a third Dutch thing. Yeah. There you go. That's my best effort. Ajax! Why didn't I go with Ajax? Oh, what a wally. I've got an Ajax shirt as well. Red lights. I hear about this red light district. When I went to where it was on my tour guide, I didn't notice any red lights because I was too busy looking at the boobies. Where are the red lights? Ajax sacked their manager this week, did they? They're around the boobies. Who's looking at the lights then? It's like going to a beautiful ornamental garden and looking at the bins. I mean, what are you doing, folks? Why are you looking at the lights, you weirdos? Why were you there? Oh, I really want to see these lights. Wish I could see some red lights. You know what else is there, don't you? Don't care. As long as they've got red lights, I am in. Right, here you go. More news from Porky. I'm referring to earlier, not right now, to when he actually replying to me. First, the guy starts by insulting me, thinking I'm a child for accidentally typing in a way he didn't like. I'm Dutch and not. There you go. I've let Porky have the last word there. I read out exactly what he typed. I have officially let him have the last word. Porky wins. And not what? That's where the sentence ends. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. There's your posture check. I will hydrate. How are you finding the match sharpness feature? It's been annoying me a lot recently. I feel they're losing it too fast and not gaining it fast enough. Would you believe me if I said I haven't looked at it in a season and a half? It's not really something I massively concern myself with. Have you seen about Miles having to cancel plans to go to a Watford match? I feel like this is the lead into a joke. I haven't. What's the punchline to the joke? Is the game not lagging and all bleep for you? Or has there been an update? I'm on console. No, the game is fine for me, which is why I talk about the game being fine. I have seen videos. I've seen it's rubbish for some people and apparently is awful on console. But even on console, I mean, I made that FM console video the night it came out and it ran fine on console for me as well. So I think they just give me a special creator version that works, which they don't want to let everybody have because, can you imagine if everyone got a working game? I'm just lucky. I mean, ironically, and this is why the whole Kev's a shill thing is such nonsense. I spent the first 6 months of FM24 moaning constantly about how broken the game was because they just wouldn't fix it. Because my version then was broken because of the aliens. A West, thank you very much for the Prime. He was told there was a risk to his safety. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I've had multiple death threats over the last couple of weeks. So I can only imagine how bad it's been for anyone who publicly is associated with Sports Interactive. So, yeah, these are things that probably get taken quite seriously. It's somewhere where people know he's going to be. I mean, realistically, I imagine if I'd have done what I probably should have done and reported the death threats to the police, I probably would have been advised not to go to Bedford yesterday and certainly not tell people I was going to be there. But I just assumed, maybe naively, that it was just people like 9-year-olds getting silly. And I didn't take any of it seriously. I never have. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I've had my more than my share of death threats, I imagine. Is that why I took Matt? No, I needed someone to carry my bag. Yeah, I took Matt as he was going to be. I did actually tell him when I picked him up he was coming as my meat shield, which he didn't seem to mind because he knew there was free chicken in it for him. But yeah, I did. I wasn't completely comfortable going on my own. How the hell did death threats happen over FM? Because people are absolutely mental. So yeah, I'm like I say, I'm not surprised. It's ridiculous, but I do feel for, and again, I mean, without looping back round to what we spent the first half hour of the stream talking about, I do know a lot of the people who work for Sports Interactive through years of like being invited to their offices. I've met a lot of them. I do feel for anybody who works there at the moment. Certainly if people are publicly aware that you work there, and that doesn't excuse the game. The game is obviously broken and unfinished. I get that, but it is ultimately only a game, and it doesn't really matter. But it must be absolutely horrible to be working on that game at the moment because of the abuse you're getting. Because all I've done is, publicly had fun using the thing that they've made. And I'm getting more abuse than I've ever had. Certainly from the FM community. I've had some pretty solid abuse from the anti-family vlogger crew over the years. But this is the worst it's ever been in FM. And all I've done is played it and said I enjoyed it, whilst also highlighting its faults. So imagine if you're known as the guy who has publicly, rightly or wrongly, for the last 20 years, been the public face of the company. I imagine he's having a horrible time, and I'd walk away. Not for the reason people would probably want him to. I wouldn't walk away because I felt like I'd failed. I'd be like, you know what? I've made enough money. Because he must have done. I've made enough money and I don't need this. So balls to him. I'm done. then they'll see what the game turns into when someone else is in charge. Alan, thank you very much for 3 months. And I think the reason he hasn't is because he loves it too much, and that's he cares too much about it. I wonder if there'll be an FM World Cup again, unless I remember some of those that were very negative about the game. I think that would be quite petty. I think it's very fair to give an honest opinion, and I don't think Sports Interactive would have any issue with people doing that. That's the big irony of it all. People are like, oh no, Kev doesn't want to be negative because he doesn't want to risk his relationship with SI. I literally put out a video saying it was a mess and a 0 out of 10, and nothing happened. They don't care. They know it's not very good. I put out a video saying it was a mess and a 0 out of 10, and they sent me a bag full of goodies. You know, I got the mug and the tactics board that everybody else got. So, yeah, I think I don't think that's anything that needs to be worried about. I think anyone who's aggressive or threatening or takes it too far, I think that's different. But I think just reviewing a game badly, I don't think it's going to cause anyone any problems at all. Is the game playable yet? As far as I'm concerned, the game's been playable all the way through. I mean, we are 2.5 hours into a stream where I've had no crashes, no bugs, and played, 10 matches in 2.5 hours? Seems pretty playable to me. I'm not saying you'll enjoy playing it if it's not offering you what you're looking for, but I've never really understood the FM is unplayable comments, because I don't think at any point it has been unplayable. Certainly not on my PC. Let's put that proviso on there. Yes, I acknowledge that network games are unplayable, but I've not tried to do one. The in-game editor apparently doesn't work. I haven't even bought it yet. I wouldn't know. And apparently there are certain hardware configurations that I think it's really struggling on Mac. It's pretty unplayable on Mac at the moment. There are a lot of people saying it's unplayable on console, which I've not personally experienced. I thought it was fine on my console, but that doesn't mean it's going to be fine on everybody's. But for me personally, at no point has it been unplayable. It's unfinished and buggy, and there's stuff missing, but at no point has it been unplayable. There you go. We've got someone with the counterpoint to that. A first-time chatter on Twitch. FM Touch is horrible. Kicks me out of the app every 30 minutes. So I guess there are versions of it that are pretty unplayable, which is unfortunate, but hopefully won't be that way forever. I'm on Mac and it's perfectly fine, and I have a big database loaded. So there you go. On some Macs, it's fine. I haven't tried it on a Mac since the beta. I had it running on my MacBook Pro. I've got an M2 MacBook Pro, and it was fine on that during the beta. I've not had time to try it since. I've also not had time to try it on Steam Deck since full release. That's why I've not made a video yet. So I don't know if it works on Steam Deck. It didn't work very well on Steam Deck in the beta. Not because it wasn't running, but because the controls, ironically, this whole console control, I thought we'd had a crash there. Everything locked up for a minute. Oh my word. How ironic would that have been? But no, the Steam Deck, the issue was it didn't have the console controls working. You had to map your own console controls, and I just didn't do it, and it didn't really work properly as a result. I assume the console controls are properly in now, but I haven't had time to try it. Hopefully I'll get to try it this week and I can make a video on it. Is it just possible they didn't do enough testing on different hardware configurations? That's cause, I mean, that is exactly what's happened. S. Brigo, thank you very much for the gifted sub. Yeah, it's not been tested enough. Not even... I don't think it's necessarily even been tested any less than it normally would be. It's more a case of there was more wrong with it to begin with. So they've naively got into it planning to do the same amount of testing as normal, i.e. a couple of weeks of beta, public beta. That's when they do the testing on hardware they don't have. It's always been done by us. For as long as the internet has existed, for as long as that beta, it's been at least 20 years where we've done that testing. And we've always had the report bug button. And in the past, it's never been a problem because there weren't that many problems and they could generally all get fixed. And I think they were maybe a little bit naive and thought that would be enough this time round when it wasn't. But then I guess what would the alternative have been? Maybe start the beta a month earlier, so it's tested for even longer, but then it's going to be an even worse version that people get their hands on and go nuts about. I don't know that there was really a way to win. I guess all they could have done is maybe before even opening pre-orders, and I don't think the game was ready enough at this point to do it, but before even opening pre-orders, let people into a big public open beta for a week for free in like September. Be like, right, you've got a week. We just want to test it on your hardware. I know Diablo did this. Because then people are actually testing it and doing it for the right reason and offering feedback. But even that would have been harder to do this year than any year ever before, because I suspect, I mean, we all saw those articles from the journalists that got access to the game around about then. I didn't play it that early. So we didn't get the alpha anywhere near as early as those journalists did. So I never got to play that version of the game. But I suspect it was broken. Like really broken. To the point where they couldn't even really expect it to work. Broken. So it probably wasn't an option. Ironically, in future years, they probably won't need to do it. They can go back to their normal way of doing it because it won't ever be that broken again, hopefully. But yeah, that might have been a thing to consider. I don't even think the time lined up right for them to be able to do that. Did Spencer, Owen and Bowen ever have problems on that stream? I mean, it wasn't a stream, was it? It was pre-recorded. I wonder how long they recorded for to get a 90-minute stream. Because we don't know how far in advance that was recorded. Obviously, it wasn't done that night, was it? Because Bowen played that night. So I don't know how far in advance they did it. But, yeah. Got to say, it's winning me over. Missing things, admittedly. Only one crash in 40 plus hours will get better as well. See, that's awesome. We are getting there. It all boils down to communication again. Yeah, I think they have got a lot to learn in terms of communication. But, I mean, they're literally hiring for someone for that role at the moment. So, for once, they have a pretty good excuse. Give it to Ben. I mean, he'd be good as the creator liaison if such a role existed, which it only ever did for about 6 months, about 5 years ago. I suspect they wouldn't be able to pay him enough. Looking at that salary that they've put out for the job. I forget what the job was. There was a job that they were hiring for that was something PR related, and the salary certainly doesn't pay as well as being a Twitch streamer who averages over 1,000 concurrent viewers, that's for sure. So I suspect they wouldn't be able to pay him as much. Enough. Plus, then I'd never get access to anything ever again, just to troll me. But anyway, has sections in his stream to critique Kev videos. I mean, he doesn't just do it to me, does he? He does that for everybody. It's fine. You say that. What, he only does mine, does he? Nah, he doesn't. I've saw him do a Luke video and a Loki video. I just make more videos than everybody else. I've made, as of today, 54 FM26 videos across the two channels. Find me someone who's done even half that. I just make more videos than everybody else. $54. How on earth have you managed that? Because I don't mess about. I've got two channels. I'm uploading twice a day on the main channel, once a day on this channel. And we've had, so that's 3 videos a day every day, pretty much since the beta dropped, which is what, 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? When did the beta drop? 20 days ago. And we're doing, it couldn't have even been 20 days because that would have been 60 videos. So I guess we can work it out from the maths. It's like 18 days ago, I guess the beta came out, and we've done 3 videos a day since then. So yeah, find me someone who's uploaded anywhere near as many videos as me, and I'll question why they don't get as much attention as I do. I don't have 1-star players coming off the bench. They're 1-star in the position. It's Hugill, I think you're mentioning. He's not a 1-star player. He's just not a left winger, and I keep bringing him on the left wing. So it's not that he's a 1-star player. It's that he's 1-star for the position that I'm bringing him on in. So I'm not worried. There's my posture check. I'm training him to play there. Right, this is the Derby. We're playing Cambridge. Hardest working man in the FM universe. It's what I do. It's what I've done for years. I mean, remember, it's over 10 years now since my first YouTube video. And across the channels, I'm still averaging more than 2 a day. Every day for more than 10 years. I'll say that again, boys and girls. More than 2 videos a day, on average, for more than 10 years. I'm not just the hardest working man in FM. I'm the hardest working man on YouTube. Thoughts on Legends Czar. I've only played like 3 hours of it. I just haven't had time. We've got the usual cabin in the woods booked for the week before Christmas. I'm planning on leaving my laptop at home and just taking my Switch 2 and my Steam Deck and catching up on a couple of games that I need to catch up on. Legends Za is one of them. Expedition 33 is another one of them. And I'm just going to sit in the hot tub and try not to drop my Switch in the water and just play some games and not think about work for a week. So over 10,000 videos in 10 years. Yeah, that sounds about right. Across the channels, for sure. I mean, there was a long period of time where I was doing 2 videos a day every day for like 3 full FM cycles on the main channel. Plus, that was while I was daily vlogging. Plus, there would be additional videos. So yeah, it's the average is something like 2.2 videos a day. Last time I worked it out. Yeah, I've got the Lego channel as well now. Although I don't really upload consistently at all to the vlog channel anymore. But the Lego channel has been pretty much daily since it started. So like at the moment, we're doing 2 videos a day on the main channel, 1 video a day on this channel, plus a video a day on the Lego channel. So that's, we're across the channels, we're knocking out 4 videos a day at the moment. TikTok, yeah, I do at least 1 a day on TikTok. Got 3 TikTok accounts. We stream 2 or 3 times. It's why I only stream 2 or 3 times a week. I don't have time. I'm too busy making videos. Why on Xbox we don't have this graphics and it runs at 1 FPS where we don't see the ball? I mean, it doesn't run at 1 FPS. I've literally made a video of it on Xbox. The answer is it's not had the patch yet on Xbox. It will get better in time. It's not finished and it's not ideal. With the game release being less than ideal, were you at a point where you worried for yourself / LOLLUJO in terms of your career, income, etc.? No. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream. Pre-launch, and even like as far as my bank account goes, as of today, I've earned more money from the Lego channel than the Football Manager channel this year. That is because I haven't been paid yet for any of the stuff to do with the launch. Like YouTube pay a month in arrears, the affiliate link pays a month in arrears. So yeah, it's that will balance out and swing the other way by the end of November. But as of today, over 10 months into the year, like 10 and a half months into a 12-month year, I've earned more money from Lego than Football Manager. So just from a like personal perspective, not worried, would have been fine. As far as LOLLUJO is concerned, like this channel, if they'd have not released the game, I probably wouldn't be a Football Manager YouTuber at the moment. I would have just gone all in on Lego and probably started something else alongside it. I mean, you would have seen, anyone who watches everything that I do, over the summer, I kind of brought the vlog channel back. I was doing 2 or 3 videos a day on there. Not a day, 2 or 3 videos a week on there, in addition to the daily Lego stuff. Basically setting that up just in case. So I've always got that as a just in case. We've got like 120,000 subscribers on there who are pretty engaged when I actually upload. So even if LOLLUJO went away tomorrow, I would be fine with the vlog and block party. That would be enough to pay the bills. But specifically to address what you actually asked, obviously the game has been released, but with the release being less than ideal, am I worried? I'm like, it's working out quite well for me. Because, I mean, I've had my 2 best viewed days ever in the last 2 weeks. One of them was the day I released the 0 out of 10, 10 out of 10 videos. So that one was me being a rascal. But it was my most viewed day ever because I also released other videos that day as well. So the combination of everything I released that day, that is my most viewed day I've ever had on YouTube, the day I did those. And then the Non-Lethal Legend launch day this week was my 2nd most viewed day ever. Better than any other FM launch day I've ever had. So obviously the controversy in the short term leads to some views. In the slightly longer term, I genuinely think I'm carving myself out a little niche as the guy who's not whinging about FM all the time. So yes, there are a lot of people who are not enjoying it, but there are also a lot of people who are enjoying it. And there's a lot more places for the people who aren't enjoying it to go and hang out than for the ones who are enjoying it. If you are enjoying it and are fed up of hearing the moaning, there's not a lot of content you can watch at the moment. So I am doing quite well out of that. And that's I can already hear Reddit being like, LOLLUJO says the only reason he's being positive about the game is because it makes him more money. And it's not that. It's just a side effect of it. I mean, I could not have known that would have been the outcome. But I mean, it was working out all right for me in terms of views at the moment. People, and one of my more common comments is, I appreciate the fact that I can just come here and enjoy the game and enjoy the content. And we've been here before. from a content perspective. FM23, everyone was so negative about it. That's when the round tables were done. Everyone was so negative about that game. Everyone apart from this guy. And I was so annoyingly not negative that they didn't even let me on the second round table that they did, because I was not taking it seriously. Well, I did all right out of that launch as well. I'm just easily pleased. I'm having a nice time. I'm very easily pleased. FM's my special interest. It doesn't have to be a great FM for me to have a lovely day. I am not a game reviewer. I am not looking at this analytically. I just want to disappear into a football universe of my own creation. I mean, this tells you everything you need to know about why I am having such a nice... By the way, we've just beaten Cambridge. Huzzah. To give you an idea of why it would be pretty impossible for Sports Interactive to release an FM game that I wouldn't enjoy. When I was... Oh, can I talk about this? You are going to realise... Again, first question is going to be, Kev, how were you not diagnosed as autistic until you were 40? How did they not know? I think I've told this story before. When I was a kid, we used to go on long caravan holidays in the summer. Like every summer holiday, we would be away in the caravan for 4 of the 6 weeks of the summer holiday. My dad would save up all his annual leave and we'd do 2 weeks, come back for 2 weeks and then do another 2 weeks. Or maybe we'd go and tour around Europe a bit for 3 weeks, come back for a couple of weeks, then go and do another week. But every summer for like 8 years, my teenage years, my young teenage years, we would have 4 weeks on holiday in a caravan every single summer. And obviously this was back in the 90s. So we didn't have 4G. We didn't have laptops and stuff like that. I mean, I had a Game Boy, but I had to buy batteries for it. So I couldn't be using my Game Boy all the time. We didn't even take a TV with us when we went away in the caravan. You know, I don't watch TV or movies. We would not have one with us. So I occupied my time on these camping trips. By, before we went, we would go to the supermarket and my mum would get me one of those big 200 sheet refill pads of lined paper that's hole punched down the side with the margin in, and a pack of HB pencils. And what I would do is get a penknife and scrape off. You know how pencils have got 6 sides, like a dice? Like there's 6, is it a hexagon? Hexagon, is that the shape? They've got 6 sides. So I'd scrape off the paint on all 6 of the sides. And I would write on there like goal or save, or sometimes there'd be a variant where it'd be win or draw, defeat. Sometimes I'd do it with wrestling and it would be... count out, submission. Sometimes I do it with cricket. But I would write stuff on the pencils and then I would get my pad of paper and I would write out all of the teams in the league. And like sometimes I'd do it with a dice, not the pencils. And I'd roll a dice for the home score, roll another dice for the away score. And I would play through all the fixtures by rolling a pencil or rolling a dice. And then I would produce the league table in my pad. And then I'd do the next week of fixtures. And I would play through the full season of fixtures. Yeah, an FM equivalent of How's That? Exactly. How's That is what got me into it. My dad gave me his How's That set and I loved it. And I adapted it for wrestling and football as well. So if you've played How's That, it's exactly that. But I did it with football and wrestling as well. And I would just simulate. I was the Omega Luke of the 90s. I would simulate like 30, 40 seasons over the course of a summer holiday. And I'd have all my records. And it was literally me just rolling a dice and just doing the football and looking at the league table. I had no control over what would happen. I didn't care. I just enjoyed the fact that it was generating this world for me. And I would have the statistics of who the best players were, who the top scorers were. Like, it would be, oh, so-and-so's a 5-time intercontinental champion in my universe. And I would have all of the statistics and stuff. And it would literally be story generation. So the pencil or the dice or whatever was doing the random element of it would be taking those decisions out of it. So there was surprise and something to react to. But the vast majority of the time was me interpreting what was in my pad of paper and turning it into a story in my head and building this entire universe, this story of my football world, my cricket world, my wrestling world, my Formula One world, whatever it was. And that's how I would spend a month of my year every year in my childhood, entertaining myself with 200 sheets of lined paper and a pack of pencils. People try and tell me I don't love Football Manager. I found a way to play it even when I didn't have a computer. But yeah, that's... And I had a whale of a time. I loved it. So they really don't have... It's not a high bar for me to love this game. I'm not a reviewer. I'm not the person to review it. But you can trust that I honestly am having a good time. But if you must, add an asterisk on it. And next to your asterisk, put... He is having a good time, but bear in mind, he would be having a good time if it was all just randomly created nonsense. He doesn't really care about the actual gameplay of it, as long as there's a story that he can pull out of it. That's all I want. It's a story generation engine, and I don't really care what the story is or how much impact I have on it. I just want to be able to interpret the story from what is happening. What's the story here? We're losing. And it's not very nice. But we have been on a nice run of form. I'm less questioning your autism, but really questioning how you ever found a girl to marry you during that time too. Got her pregnant. I mean, it's the easy way. Got her pregnant. She had no choice. The sad thing is, though, people never think of context, only their opinion and how important it is. I know. That's why I've given up trying to convince people. Triple H books this way. Maybe he does. How did you find a girl to get pregnant while doing that? She was in the orchestra. So she was just as nerdy as me. So you created a database before the FM creators did, pretty much. I invented my own dice football game. It was great. And cricket too, replicated the whole season. I did that instead of going out. Yeah, exactly. See, we're the cool ones. The story here is to find out if Kev or Instant Result is the best manager. Look, I beat Cambridge. I'm doing all right. So this one time in band camp, I mean, we did meet around about the time American Pie was a thing. And yeah, it was pretty much that. Do you think you could just port that and put the FM26 match engine on it? Seems doable. Maybe. Football is class. My nan has end-of-life dementia, and one of the few things she still remembers and that calms her down is up the posh. See, that's cool. That's awesome. Did you see that Miles had to reject an invite to the Watford game because of the abuse? Someone mentioned that before. I hadn't seen it until someone mentioned it about an hour ago. And that's what got us back onto ranting again, I think. I had similar with Lego goals and a marble played. Oh, God, I had a massive Subbuteo set as well. My dad glued we had this massive piece of wood in the garage, and on one side he'd glued down the Subbuteo pitch so it was flat and didn't have creases in it, and on the other side it had permanently attached train track for my train. Again, I wasn't diagnosed until I was 40. I don't know. I need to know which was the best chicken shop. Then watch the video. I literally released a video today where I reviewed the chicken. Oh yeah, nobody was surprised when I was diagnosed. Bojan! I love Subbuteo, but sadly don't have a room to play. My dad recently moved house, and that involved emptying his loft, and he gave me back not only all my Subbuteo stuff, all his Subbuteo stuff from when he was a kid as well. So in my storage unit, I've got this massive box full of Subbuteo. So it's got like the 90s set with the grandstand and all that in. No pitch because it was glued down to a piece of wood. But then it's got his version from the 60s with the goalkeepers are on like metal wire rather than plastic. But I've got like a bunch of his teams, a bunch of my teams, both the old sets. It's very cool. I need to do a video on it at some point. What's Subbuteo in simple terms? It's a football game that you play with little plastic footballers that you flick, and you've got a goal at each end, and it's football, but you flick the footballers. You take it in turns to flick a footballer into the ball. Google it. Google it. You'll understand it just from the pictures. I'm shocked you think chicken thigh is the worst piece. It is. It's all bone. It's all bone and barely any meat. Drumsticks are the best part of the chicken. So I like table football. Yeah. Is there any table football that's not Subbuteo? Plus thigh's really greasy as well. I realised today I've never been to a chicken shop. I mean, I don't think I've been to anywhere like that Sam's place that I went to. That is just like, I mean, obviously I've been to KFC. Does that count as a chicken shop? I don't know. But like an independent place that primarily does chicken. I've been to kebab shops that do chicken, which is basically what the second place was. But yeah, I don't think I'd ever been to an actual chicken is our main thing and we're not KFC or Popeye's chicken shop. It was an experience, that's for sure. Don't really see what all the fuss is about from the youngsters. I'd rather, someone said in the video, what about fish and chips? Yeah, I'd rather fish and chips. Fish and chips is much better. Is Nando's a chicken shop? Nando's is a restaurant, isn't it? Five changes immediately. Yeah, everyone was shattered. We're having fitness problems. If everyone's shattered, then we make 5 changes. I love the fact that it's your first ever chat. That's great. But yeah, everyone was shattered. I think we need to rest the players after this match. We've obviously been playing too much football. When I'm playing a really high intensity system like a gegenpress or a vertical tiki-taka, then I usually rest players for 2 days after a match if there's another match within a few days. That is the worst header I've ever seen, and it almost got us a goal. He's just let that hit him on the top of the head and it's bounced up in the air. But yeah, definitely. This is the first match I've really noticed fitness be an issue. Thoughts on Morley's? What is Morley's? Is that southern version of Greg's that I see? I've never been there. Don't know why London needs something that's not Greg's. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Morley's. Oh, it's a chicken shop, is it then? South London. I don't go south of the river, Topher. What do you take me for? South London, indeed. I might occasionally visit the O2. That's as south of the river as I'll go. It's the best part of London. I guess I'll never know. You've been to Crystal Palace before? Yeah, and it was horrible. couldn't get a train. Public transport was awful. I had to drive in. It took forever. I mean, what's wrong with just having the tube there? It's like London, but they've taken away all of the things that are convenient about London. That's what that trip to Crystal Palace was. It's like, it's London, but we're going to make it really inconvenient and awkward for you. Oh, good. So all of the worst bits. Cool. I don't go to London. It's way too overwhelming and busy. And I mean, the bits of London that I venture into, I'm pretty comfortable with now. They're easy for me to get to. They're easy to get around. Yeah, it's busy, but I don't necessarily mind that. I don't notice. I just block everyone out, get my noise cancelling headphones on, and never look up. And I don't really notice. I was supposed to be resting players, wasn't I? Oh yeah, we are playing so much football. Right, we can maybe squeeze in a 1-day rest. Have a 1-day rest. There you go. I've been to London 3 times in the 20 years since I've left school. Last time I went, I thought there'd been a terror attack. I've never seen so many people coming towards me. Turns out it was just a train had arrived. Yikes. I go to London quite a lot. Not as much as I used to. There was a point pre-pandemic where we thought we were going to move to London because I was down there so often for work stuff. But a lot of that kind of dried up and never really came back after the pandemic. Being a content creator changed a lot. There's a lot less leaving my house now than there was 5 years ago. Far fewer events, far fewer meetings in person. Everything happens on like Zoom or stuff now. Not Zoom. I mean, it's not 2020 anymore. Teams or Discord and stuff like that. So yeah, but I think the 2019, I think I slept in London like 60 times in 2019. And we were like, the amount of money I'm spending, I know it's expensive to live there, but the amount of money I'm spending on hotels, we may as well just spend that extra on more rent. And there was a brief period where actually it would have made financial sense. We would have broken even. It would have made financial sense and freed up a load more time for us to just move to London. And then the pandemic happened, and then it never really seemed logical again afterwards. But yeah, I still nip down there quite a lot. I mean, it's so easy on the train now. I live much closer to a train station than I used to. When we were in Peterborough, I was like 25-minute drive from the train station. Now I'm 5 minutes away, 10 minutes maybe. And then it's less than an hour on the train to get me to St Pancras. The Elizabeth line's there now, 1 stop away, which gets me from one side to the other easily. I'm already in central London and can go wherever. It's just easy now. Sorry to change the subject, but can you play Gegenpress in League 2? I mean, you can if you've got a team that can cope with it. You can certainly try. Where in Peterborough? I lived in Deeping, so the other side to Yaxley. It was the pandemic that effectively killed the vlog. If that didn't happen, technically it could have continued and therefore a lot. Oh yeah, potentially. Yeah, it was mostly vlog stuff that was taking me to London all the time. It was rarely FM. And when it was, FM were paying. Couldn't live in London, wouldn't like not being able to walk everywhere. See, the irony of that is, one of the attractions to living in London for me would be being able to walk everywhere. I mean, there's literally nothing I can do where I live now that I don't have to drive to get to. Like even just nipping to the shops. I mean, I guess I could walk. It's a long walk. But yeah, London, you literally can walk everywhere. What do I reckon of the new game then? Thumbs up. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm not a game reviewer. Listen again to the last half hour. I gave all my provisos of why I'm not a game reviewer, but I'm enjoying it and it works fine on my computer. Have I moved to MK yet? Not yet. I'm trying to convince Anna. It will definitely be our next move, I think. I really... If I don't get to live in London, and realistically I'm not going to be able to because it's always going to be too expensive, the next best thing I think would be Milton Keynes. Because again, it's got everything I want close together. I want very different things out of my living situation to most people. Is that a joke? No. I think Milton Keynes is brilliant. It's logically laid out. The grid structure really tickles my autistic tendencies. I love how logically laid out it is. And it literally has everything I could want within the city, apart from a football team. But it's got a Lego store. It's got a Lego museum. It's got an IKEA. It's got loads of massive supermarkets. It's got a really awesome shopping centre full of all the things I would want to go to. It's got an indoor snow thing. It's got indoor skydiving. It's got a massive complex full of entertainment. It's got all the places I would want to eat out. I can't think of any downside to Milton Keynes. Have I been there? I'm in Milton Keynes probably once every couple of weeks at the moment, if not more often. I'm there all the time. It's one of the reasons why I want to move there, so I can stop having to drive there. Yeah, I think the people who don't like Milton Keynes are the people who want to be able to look out their window and see fields and not hear anything. Like open the door and hear birds and cows and things. I want to open my door and be able to walk to the Lego store, walk to the comic book shop. I am not looking for countryside and peace and quiet. I want to be in the thick of everything that I want to do, and I want it to be nearby. MK has so many roundabouts. See, people say that. I hear people say that about Milton Keynes. I've never driven around Milton Keynes and thought there's too many roundabouts here. But then I'm from Peterborough, which was also built on the same new town scheme, so it's probably built the same way. I imagine there's too many roundabouts in Peterborough as well. To me, I drive around Milton Keynes and think this is a very normal amount of roundabouts, if I think of the roundabouts at all, which I rarely do. I will hydrate. I like Milton Keynes as a place, just don't like MK Dongs. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I would never be a Dongs fan. Have you ever used the famous roundabout in Swindon? I haven't, no. I have a question. How can I import set pieces on FM? You have to put them in your set pieces folder for FM26 because you can't navigate to different folders within FM yet. Obviously, silly game. And then you should be able to just load them up as normal. Yeah, and obviously the Universal Studios is going to be in Bedford as well, so that's down the road from Milton Keynes, which is going to be even better. There's talk of potentially having like a Eurostar link from Bedford that would link up. I mean, imagine. For me, it would be perfect to live near Universal in Bedford, near Bedford, and there'd be a Eurostar that links it up with Disneyland Paris. Oh, it would be so cool. I would love to go to Disneyland every weekend. Anna gets frustrated because we go too much for her as it is. We get back and I'm like, when can we go again? I want to go now. If you said to me that you can go to Disneyland tomorrow if you want, I would just go. that Disney thing is actually happening. I mean, it's one of the many things that's rumoured. They've talked about having Eurostar come all the way out to Bedford for Universal. It's very much early discussion stage. Nothing even submitted on plans yet, I don't think. But obviously, if the Eurostar came out of St Pancras to Bedford, and then from St Pancras goes on into France and towards Disneyland. I mean, at the moment, you can't go straight from St Pancras to Disneyland anyway because of the passport Brexit-y stuff. But theoretically, I mean, there's no the line from Bedford runs straight into St Pancras already. You just have to upgrade the tracks so you can put the high-speed trains on there. It'd be brilliant. I'm streaming until the end of this match, effectively, and then we'll call it a night. You're just shaping up to be the new Bedford manager in real life. I would hate to manage a football team in real life. Did you not see how uncomfortable I was in that changing room in the vlog? Can you imagine? Universal one day, Disneyland the next day. I mean, the thinking behind it is so that like people from other countries can do the theme parks as one trip. So if you can get to the point where Universal and Disneyland are only like 3 or 4 hours away from each other on the train, you could get people coming in from America, from Asia, from wherever else, who can then park themselves in either France or England and do both. Do Universal and Disney. Which then makes sense for both. I mean, this is all stuff that won't happen until I'm well into my 50s. I will still 100% be getting an annual pass for Universal when it opens. I love a theme park. I am just a child. We're quite good at beating little teams, it seems. I think we're going to instant result the rest of this match because it's 10 o'clock. I can hear Anna making noises that indicate she wants to start getting ready for bed. And we're already thrashing them, so we don't need to see the end of the match. We ended up winning 5-1. There you go. Wouldn't have been worth watching. And we will call it there, boys and girls. Stream will be back on Tuesday night. Obviously, you'll have highlights of this out before then. Non-League to Legend back tomorrow after having a day off today. I don't actually have an 11 o'clock video tomorrow, so the next video that comes out will be tomorrow afternoon's Non-League to Legend. Yeah, another super fun week of Football Manager content coming up, boys and girls. But for now, toodle pip. Topher might do a raid if he's quick. Otherwise, I'm just going to end the stream raidless. I don't know if there's anybody to raid. I don't have the Twitch equipment open in front of me. But yeah, I'll see you soon, boys and girls. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip. Bye bye.